Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Well, hello there.
Hi. Good morning. I'm Dave.
I'm Jason.
I am split between two screens right now on YouTube. Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't get to play?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with not Jason Ross.
Yeah. I am here.
Hi, I'm Jason Ross. Actually, I think now I'm Carmichael Dave.
We'll see.
Now I'm Jason Ross. For everybody not on YouTube right now, this is incredibly lame. Oh, I got it. Yeah, that is a fan. That is. You just changed it.
Oh.
We were going to manually do the windows.
Oh.
Now it's just.
Yeah, see?
There we go. That should be one of those gifts
Yeah.
they use after Kings games. Good morning. We have an XXL show for you today. We good to go on this there? Okay. You know, life is precious.
Yes, it is.
And you never know when you're going to be reminded. Just random day, like we're all having today. You wake up and it's another day, my boss, and, I don't get paid enough, and whatever it is. Okay. And our good friend Scott Marsh, I think, had one of those nights.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I'm an okay flyer.
And you've gotten better.
Yes, I didn't fly for almost 20 years. You're still, as they say in the movie Airplane, hurtling through the air in a giant Tylenol at 400 miles an hour. But what they went through last night, and by they, I mean Scott Marsh, the voice of UC Davis football, the voice of UC Davis basketball, good friend of ours here, host of Game Night, and so many different things. What they went through last night, I honestly, no joke, you ever watch something on TV or you hear about somebody getting kicked in the groin and you subconsciously cross your legs? Mm-hmm. I had that kind of butterfly reading Scott's post last night. So we are happier. I can say this safely. We are happier to talk to Scott Marsh more than we've ever been as happy to talk to Scott Marsh. And that's saying something right now as we welcome him in live from Southern California. Hello, Scott.
Dave, as you know, I'm usually not happy to talk to you at all, but I certainly am this morning.
You must be this must be the happiest you've ever been to talk to me. I know you always love talking to Jason. What a perspective builder. Is that the right? That's the positive spin, right? What a perspective builder.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you always have to look back and feel, boy, how lucky you are. And just, it's great to be alive, in all honesty.
So, yeah, describe. I mean, we read the post, but maybe not everyone knows. What take us through the quick timeline of what all happened.
Yeah, flying down with UC Davis basketball game in Southern California tonight. So everything's normal, everything's great, board, everything's perfect. And then right at takeoff, there's this just loud noise, right? Just an extremely loud noise, and we're continuing to gain ground, but the noise isn't going away. Sometimes when you list the wheel equipment and all that stuff, you have a little noise at the beginning of a flight. That's kind of what I thought it was initially, except they were just so much louder and then just totally consistent. And so after, literally 30 seconds, everybody's just like, what is going on here, right? And then we're continuing to elevate for a while, and then we just flatten out, and no direction from the crew or anything like that. And, I'm around some of the players. We're starting to get on flight radar to try and see what's going on with the plane and all that stuff. And we can kind of see that we're starting to circle back a little bit. Finally, the pilot came on, and he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Just simply said, hey, at takeoff, we hit a bird. Our engine's still functioning, and we're heading back to Sacramento. And that was basically all he said. But it still was reassuring because he was so calm. The noise was still there, but nobody panicked on the plane. It wasn't like a scene of chaos or anything like that. We never lost altitude or anything crazy, but we were just on a kind of a steady trajectory back to the airport. And eventually, after seemingly forever, but I guess it was about 20 minutes or so, we landed. And of course, they had us land way out in the auxiliary runway, and there was fire trucks and ambulances waiting for us. And, it was just a crazy scene, but thank God everybody was okay.
Without I don't know if you were looking or have an idea when you flattened out what your altitude was, but either way, were you above or below the cloud line? I'm curious as to kind of like below.
Yeah.
So you're
below.
Okay. So you weren't having crazy turbulence, I would imagine, as if you were in the clouds and all that.
Nope.
Okay. And then so so it was really, if the noise hadn't existed, was there any other forming of something being wrong?
Nothing massive, because the plane was functioning. It wasn't like you could tell like an engine died or anything like that. So, to your point, it was really just the noise factor, wondering what the heck was going on. It's so interesting, because I had so many friends reach out to me, make comments. There was a friend of mine who lives out in Rio Linda, and he said he could hear the plane.
Oh, wow.
He said it sounded like a C-130 plane. And he knew there was something wrong, and he started following the flight. And then somebody sent me a picture of the actual damage from the plane, and you can see that the rotors are all torqued and everything else. So after I realized all of that, you realize even how maybe more serious it was. Because, birds do hit planes. This is not a rarity, and usually there's nothing that happens. And in this case, it didn't either. So. But obviously a very scary situation.
Yeah, and you're trying to be calm. It sounds like it's not as chaotic, but I'm sure inside you were. But I know in your post you talked about a youngster you were by that was kind of freaked out. So that's got to be weird, where you're trying to console them, but you're also probably panicked a little bit on the inside.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're trying to stay calm, obviously. And you also realize it's out of your control, right? That's the first thing you realize. Like, you're in the situation, you're locked in, you're not doing anything. So just stay calm and hope for the best. And then obviously when you have a little one, all you're really more concerned about is just trying to make what's a very tough situation just a little bit better.
I got to say that if I was in that situation and on the plane, I was freaked out, and there was a young child calming me down, that's exactly what I would have written on my Facebook page, Scott. So just curious. What are we sure
you have to read through it, Elijah. You understand that. It's all what the implications are by that.
Last thing, you, this is really the most important question. Did you get to go down? Did you get to go down the slide?
No, that was the worst part. We didn't even get to do that. We had to go down this stupid ramp. It was just crazy. I was waiting for, John from Emergency or somebody like that, Rampart, to be out there. But I will tell you this real quickly. I found out, and this was a couple hours after the fact, that one of my very good friends, who's a fireman, was actually one of the fire trucks that was called onto the scene to be on the runway for us just in case.
Oh, wow. Well, that's, it's a testament to the pilot, the crew, the people on the ground, the airport, all that. And we joke and we kid and we laugh because we were all very, very scared. And congratulations, you made the front page of the Bee. So
I love that. I can tell you 100%. The first thing I did when I walked down the highway, I walked into the cockpit. I'm surprised I wasn't arrested right away.
Yes.
But I thanked both the pilot's hands and just thanked them for an amazing job done.
Are you currently working on getting a sponsor for the whole incident?
I have some ideas.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we love you. We're very happy you're safe. Yes. Please pass on our best wishes to everybody. And you know what? The best way to recover from a scary incident like that is go out there and kick some tail tonight.
Yes. The first thing I said when I saw everybody off the place, we were scattered a little bit. I went up to head coach Jim West and I said, all I've got to say is you better win tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Well, have a great call. We'll be listening, of course, right here, and safe flight back as well.
Thank you, guys. Love you both.
All right, brother. Take care. Love you too.
I hope he got his wings.
Right. They got to give you something. Yeah. Did you get pretzels?
Extra.
More on that
later.
That's frightening. That is very frightening. And we're just very happy everyone's safe. Yeah. Right now, though, let's get on leading off.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Come on.
Aaron Fox advances the ball now. Chimezi Metu, along with Kevin Herter, Malik Monk, and KZ Akpala on the floor. Herter open, left wing, 3. Buries it. Herter from downtown has got his 5th in 10 attempts.
Pregame at 6:30, tip-off at 7. Kings versus Houston looking to tie Dallas for the 4 seed in the West. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
7-0 run. Thompson can't answer. Long rebound. Bridges couldn't grab it. Curry does.
Steph Curry returns, not enough. Warriors lose at home to the Suns. Two teams on TNT that are worse than the Kings.
Yeah, they are factual.
As a matter of fact, was it this game or the next Houston game that was supposed to be on TNT? Wasn't it one of these two and it got pulled? Yeah, still waiting on that flex there. More on that later, of course. And a crazy night in the NBA. Cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
I go to the mall and I go to the Dior store and I want something, I get it. I ask how much it costs and I buy it. So if you really want something, you just go get it. So yeah, I mean I'm the product here, and if they want my product, they just gotta come get it.
Yeah, sounds like a guy who just signed a $200 million contract. Oh, if I want it, that's Carlos Correa.
What a weird offseason for him. He signed with 3 teams.
He did sign with 3 teams. Yeah. He was only 26 away from going to the A's.
Yes.
Carlos Correa sounds like he's going back to the Twins.
Yeah.
But the 3 special words you all know and love: pending a physical.
Oh, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? We'll have more on that a little bit later as well. When we come back, the coaching rumors are heating up. What that could mean for 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans. We'll get to that in just 1 minute.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
American Energy wants to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up. Plus, if you're ready for a new one, get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. With 0% financing and payment plan options available, there's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfy for you and your family this holiday. Call American Energy today at 916-520-9990 or visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 50% off furnace when you purchase a whole home HVAC system. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with other offers or specials.
If you want to save money and start the year right, Staples has you covered.
I need everything to restock my business. File folders, break room supplies, even business cards.
Staples has you covered with big savings on everything you need for your home or office. And now at Staples, Rewards members get $30 back via Staples store bonus when they spend $100. That's $30 to use toward everything from ink to tech. Save big right now at Staples, the working and learning store. Rewards members only. Store bonus redeemable in-store only. Offer ends 1/21.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting,
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports.
All right, Kayte Christensen will join us at 8 o'clock. We'll talk about the Sacramento Kings. Really a lot of Kings today. Kevin Herter penciled in for 8:27 live, as a matter of fact. Not pre-recorded, but live. Carlos Correa sounds like he's going back to the Twins, Jay.
I just wanted to point this out real quick. This offseason, Carlos Correa has agreed to a total of 31 years and $865 million.
That's a record. That's like a Cristiano Ronaldo contract. That is a record. What is he walking away with now? $200 million
over 6 with a vesting option
for what? 270,
something like that over 4 years.
Do you mind fading that down? Just because I want to take a moment to be serious before we move on. Really, let's all take a moment. Whatever day you're having. We just talked to Scott, who had to do an emergency landing. Whatever your problems are. Let's all just be thankful for a second. It could be worse.
Absolutely.
You could be Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's lost over $100 million in the offseason, his great-great-grandchildren might actually have to go to public school.
And if he's in Minnesota, it's just the housing market there, the private schools.
It's kind of crazy, though, because with him, as soon as he was done with the Giants before the Mets, when this was all happening, how did nobody predict he was going to go back to the Twins?
Go ahead, take your victory lap. Give it a brisk jog.
Victory lap, pending a physical. By the way, pending a physical, what are the Twins going to,
Also, yeah. Hey, shout out to the big market Twins for flexing their financial muscle. Try to keep up, New York and San Francisco.
The kids. Way to go. So, as the Correa turns, looks like it's ending up right back where it started.
They're like pending a physical. They're like, yeah.
So the thing, one of my pet peeves is when somebody says, "Yeah, they did a total 360 on that." In this case, they did. It's a 180, right?
Exactly.
In this case, Carlos Correa did a 360 on the NBA. Ended up right where he was.
And MLB.
These coaches. How about these coaches, right? There's all these. It's the second most fun thing about the NFL offseason. At the beginning, at least, they released the schedule yesterday of when you're allowed to talk to coordinators, when you're allowed to talk to coaches. The Denver Broncos are one of a couple teams that have interviewed Jim Harbaugh.
That's smart.
Yeah, I would think so, and I think it looks like Harbaugh. Now Harbaugh has played. He's played fast and loose before with the NFL.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple years ago, maybe last year. Time all runs together where we were pretty sure he was going to the NFL, and but that was a contract thing with Michigan. Now he's got some sanctions, it looks like, that are coming, plus going out on a pretty high note, finishing top 2, top 3.
I just feel like he's got as close to a can't miss blueprint.
Yes.
I mean, could it fail again in the NFL? I mean, not again, but this time, sure. But University of San Diego, to Stanford, to the Niners, to Michigan, they've all worked. And he's rebuilt them all in some way, shape, or form.
And honestly, I mean, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, it's not available, but I'll tell you right now, a real interesting job that if it was open to Chicago, because of what they're sitting with the most cap space in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They've got Justin Fields. They've got David Montgomery. I mean, they've got and
the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and then you've got the number 1 pick that you got to think they're almost certainly going to trade. They're almost certainly. In fact, their GM yesterday said, unless we're completely blown away, Justin Fields is our number 1, and he should be their number 1. You saw a lot of improvement in Fields towards the end of the season, especially. They're going to, and we've seen in years past the hauls that look at what Miami just got for the 3.
Right.
And that was just them dropping 10 to 30. Was it 13? I think the Niners had 11, 13, whatever. So you're going to have a lot of teams that want to leapfrog Houston, and shocking. It wouldn't shock me at all if Houston just says, you know what? We want Bryce Young. We don't want to screw around. And we know that there's going to be other teams that want Bryce Young that want to leapfrog us. We understand, Chicago, you don't need him, but what can we give you for the number 2 pick? And what would be incredibly interesting if that happened, Jason, I'm actually rooting for that to happen. I'm rooting for Houston to trade the 2 for the 1 and whatever else they have to give up, because whatever else they have to give up, we will now be able to specifically assign a price for winning that last game.
Right.
This is what winning that last game specifically cost you. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
So, Jim Harbaugh, you also, we were talking about this earlier. Indy seems like a great fit too for several reasons.
It does. I've obviously played there. What they've got in position, the division seems more open maybe than some of the others. I still think this should be revisited or visited, whether they're talking about it internally or not. If I'm the Raiders, I do it. I cut bait and say, look, I don't think, even if we have a great offseason again, which a lot of people thought they had a good offseason last year.
Right.
Is McDaniels your guy? If you have the perfect offseason, is he the one to lead you? I don't believe it. I think Harbaugh and the Davis family have had connections. That's the direction I would go.
Maybe this is something that's out there and I just don't know it. Do we know, or do you know, were the Raiders at all on the hook for the rest of Gruden's contract, or was that a cause situation? I don't remember ever reading anything about a settlement. I want to assume that maybe they're not.
Yeah, I feel like that's under one of the guidelines of, voiding the contract. That's my gut.
I would think so too, which
makes it easier to pay off one coach, right? Two.
Exactly. And I certainly wouldn't write the rate, even though, although it seems like they're going to stick with Josh McDaniels. I certainly wouldn't write them off and doing another, 10-year, $100 million deal for whether it was a Harbaugh or I think a Sean Payton.
Right.
What I think Sean Payton's a big domino. He's coming back. There's several teams that want him. I think if I was him, I'd be waiting very carefully and looking at the Rams and what McVay's going to do. Not that Peyton necessarily wants to be part of a rebuild, but if he's coming back and he's coming back for the long haul, that's a place you go. You're flush with money. Right. You have a brand new stadium. You're in a huge market, and you know that you've got great job security for 3, 4, 5, 6 years at least. I think Sean Payton, then you've got Jim Harbaugh. I don't put McVay, like we talked about, in there because I think he's going to take a year off. But then again, all the TV positions are gone too. So unless he's just going to take a year off and do nothing, he won't be coach.
Yeah, I think this for those that are desperate to get, there's nobody that's going to always be a foolproof plan here.
Right.
But for an offseason that if Harbaugh is truly interested,
yeah,
and Peyton is available, if you're an organization, you got to get one of those two.
Yes,
you really do. Now, someone's going to take a chance on someone we don't know or a coordinator that some of them work.
Right.
But I feel like these other two are more of a certainty that if you're put in the right position, you will succeed with Peyton and with Harbaugh. I believe that.
Eric Bieniemy, we talked about that yesterday, is still out there. DeMeco Ryans said yesterday, the Niners defensive coordinator, that he's going to be, quote, picky about where he goes.
I know what that means, but what does that mean as far as the teams that are available? Is there anything desirable? Just if you're being picky,
right?
What works there?
Well, let's rule out
Denver has a good defense.
Denver has it. So if I'm his brother, agent, friend, first thing I say is don't go to Houston, no matter what. Please, unless you just want to coach for a year, don't go to Houston. I'm not entirely sure I go to Indy because Jim Irsay is just such a weirdo.
Okay.
He's just he's just a weirdo, man. Is that really where you want to go?
Do you want to go in your own division to Arizona?
I'd probably listen. Arizona, there's a lot of talent there. I hate that I'm going in my own division, but also I know my own division a little well.
Yeah.
Maybe I take a look at the Rams, but I don't think the Rams go from Sean McVay to DeMeco Ryans. I agree with you on Denver. I think Denver, that defense, Ryans goes in there. You grab yourself a kick-ass offensive coordinator to go with that.
You've got there Carolina and the Colts, right?
Yeah. And again, I'd stay away from the Colts, but again, that's just me. And Carolina wouldn't be a bad pick either, as a matter of fact. I think that's where I'd go. I'd go Broncos. You also have an owner that's flush with cash, Mr. Walton. So, I would go to those two. But, he's going to also, you can't be too picky. You're trying to break in.
Right.
Get in on the carousel, dude. You cannot be too picky unless you're looking to save money. And in that case, you need to be picky. You need to shop around. Now, you're used to me talking to you about my good friend Shelby and doing refinances, doing purchases. And yeah, he still does that at refinancewithshelby.com. But right now, he's putting everybody in with solar. Why? Because come April, things are going to change. And what you sell, what you're able to sell your energy back to the grid today is going to go down what you get paid by about 75% in April when the new law hits. You can grandfather, or why isn't it grandmother? Whatever. You can grandfather yourself in if you get in right now. And it's so easy. They can take a look at what you're paying, especially if you're a PG&E customer, what you're paying per month, average it out over a year, and say, okay, you're going to pay this or less with your new solar system. We're going to finance it for you if you want. You need a new roof, we'll finance that along with your solar. We'll improve the value of your home. You'll be protected from any sort of energy inflation. You'll be able to sell your excess energy back. You get a 30% cash back federal tax credit. Come on. SolarWithShelby.com. The biggest fear is fear itself. It's the fear of the unknown. Ask your questions to Shelby. SolarWithShelby.com. Very important right here. You telling me, good buddy, Carmichael Dave sent you. Let's take a quick look at the AFC playoffs. We'll get to the night in the NBA at 6:43. But when we come back, where might that AFC championship game be? We have some ideas next.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
The new year is upon us with promises of new beginnings and new adventures, but don't let 2022 slip away without savoring the memories of all you enjoyed with family and friends. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Of course, looking forward with anticipation is exciting, but I have a lot to appreciate in this past year, and much of that revolves around time with family and more good times spent around my Naturewood dining table. Watching my grandson get messy with his birthday cake is priceless, and it reminds me that new life is the perfect balance between yesterday and today. Greet the new year with a visit to Naturewood Home Furnishings. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's New Year sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Individual rates, coverage, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, and new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taken off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings look to get their second win in a row tonight when the Houston Rockets visit the Golden One Center. Houston comes in sporting an NBA worst 10-30 record and will also play the Kings on Friday night. Coverage of tonight's action begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. Steph Curry's return last night for the Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough for the Dubs, who fell short to an injury-riddled Phoenix Suns team, 125-113. Curry finished the game with 24 points in 31 minutes of action, and the Warriors are now 2 games back at the Sacramento Kings for first place in the Pacific Division. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
AFC playoffs in general start this weekend. We're going to focus on the AFC in this segment, where really, Jason, you and I both agree that is the top to bottom.
It's a gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet.
Yeah. Best quarterbacks, some teams that are hot.
Mm-hmm. I had to look at the odds here, because I know they were at 10.5 at one point.
Yeah, the separate, like to win the AFC.
I'm talking about. I skipped ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Dolphins Bills.
Oh, point spread. Okay.
I just kind of skipped ahead there. I'm looking at Dolphins Bills where I'm seeing 10.5, but I don't know. This is old. I heard there was some line movement yesterday, and I'm not saying this to give you betting advice, because of course we don't do that, but it's a great way. It's a wonderful tool to see, for example, if an injured quarterback is going to play, because nobody knows quicker. Yeah, here we go. The Bills are now a 6.5 point favorite. That's down from a 10.5 point favorite Monday morning. That's why you look at betting lines. It certainly seems like someone knows Tua Tagovailoa is going to play.
Okay.
And
it certainly gives them a better chance.
Yeah, I still don't. Listen, no offense to Miami. I have a very difficult time seeing that. And you know, I'm sure they're not going to think about this because they're professional athletes and they're disciplined and focused. But can we just take a moment to comment on the idea that if they do play the Dolphins, would you agree that if Tua plays, he is their most dangerous weapon? I mean, you got Tyreek Hill, you got all that, but if you had to lose one guy off the Dolphins for the Bills, wouldn't you pick Tua?
Right.
That being said, without even being dirty, you got to think in the back of your mind, if you're a Bills defender, we want to put our hats on Tagovailoa and get him out of there. And after what you just dealt with and what you're still dealing with your own player going down with a serious injury, that's just kind of a crappy thing.
It is. I mean, the oddity of it all is it's kind of the sport by nature.
It is.
And not that there's hits that can hurt, but this is like, hey, can I still tackle without that bad look to it? But yeah, I mean, you're trying to knock any quarterback out in the reality of the situation.
And you don't want to be dirty about it.
Right.
But let's be honest, the
Dolphins want to do that to Josh Allen.
Of course. And the thing with concussions, one thing we do know through fight sports and through seeing this before, I brought up Steve Young the other day. Steve Young never had a concussion problem until he had his first concussion. And then he had and then every single time, and he's talked about this before. We've seen him talk about it here, and he talked at the Coaching Alliance a few years back. I remember talking about his concussions. Every concussion you get makes your next concussion easier to get.
Mm-hmm.
And Tua's in a situation right now where he's had at minimum 2 terrible concussions this year, and probably more like 3 or 4.
Right.
And now you're coming back in for the playoffs. I understand where the Dolphins are at. I understand where Tua's at. They want him to play. He wants to play. But at that point, again, like we talked about yesterday, what are the doctors going to say? They can't sit and tell Mike McDaniel he's not going to get a concussion. He's fine.
Right. Well, and that's just here this year, like what happened at Alabama high school stuff that's probably even less reported.
That's right.
And less, watched over.
Right. So that's going to be a very, very interesting matchup in itself. But it would seem like the Bills will, in fact, looking at.
Well, we have 2 of the same, like the Niners. We talked about the Niners and Seahawks 3 times. You have 2 of these situations with the Bills, Dolphins, and then the Bengals, Ravens.
Yeah, Bengals, Ravens.
The 3rd time.
And that's almost a little bit like the Dolphins. I even with Lamar Jackson playing, I think the Ravens the Bengals are certainly the very big favorite here. And I'm not talking odds. I'm just saying I think I would take them. You would take them. But again, much like Miami, if Lamar Jackson's not playing, just don't even play the game. Just save your players from injury. And but at any given Sunday or Saturday, I understand that, but the Bengals are just a better team.
Yeah, I mean it's not even the difference of the drop off of court. It's just how good Lamar can be. Like if you're talking about one game, absolutely Lamar Jackson can win that game.
Yes,
by himself.
Yes.
So that's with the value of having him back if he's able to come back. I don't even know what the word is on him. He just keeps missing and missing and missing.
They're
games.
keeping it very quiet.
Yeah.
They're keeping it very, very quiet, which I completely understand that. Cincinnati right now favored by 7. I would imagine Lamar Jackson's worth probably 3.5 points on his own, but you're still looking at a 12-4 Bengals team that's on a nice long win streak. That game will be Sunday at 5:15. Dolphins Bills 10 a.m. On Sunday.
Who's favored in the Jags Chargers? Because Chargers are on the road, but
Chargers are on the road.
Are they favored?
By 1.5.
Okay.
by 1.5. They say home field gets you 3 points. So you'd think that'd be 4.5 if it was in Los Angeles. The 10-7 Chargers, the 9-8 Jaguars.
Is, by the way, Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Herbert kind of like sneaky, possibly best or second best quarterback matchup, most intriguing quarterback matchup given the years on him?
If we knew Lamar Jackson was playing,
yeah, Burrow versus Jackson would be
no, for sure. I'm assuming Jackson's not playing, although it's a stupid assumption. I mean, just intriguing when you got two guys that are as young as them.
Yeah, I think so. When you look at everything coming up, and by the way, the Jags have won 5 in a row, and we should take a moment to look back at the Jags who've been hapless for so long, what they dealt with Urban Meyer last year. And what they're doing right now, they came out of the box. They had a couple of really good wins, and then they kind of went back and forth a little bit. But now you also have the number 1 pick in Trevor Lawrence, and this is what you want when you grab a quarterback number 1. You want him to be the cornerstone of your franchise and to ride his dreamy long blonde hair to the playoffs. The Jaguars are, by the skin of their teeth, back in the playoffs. And now,
don't underestimate Herbert. Has a very nice head of hair on him as well. He's fantastic up there.
I think Justin Herbert is so. It's kind of hard to say he's underrated because we all know who he is, and everybody thinks he's a good. I actually think he's underrated. Justin Herbert's so good. He's so damn good. He just kind of is in obscurity.
Well, yeah, he's done statistically what he's done for 2 years shows that he's tracking to be an absolute stud. He needed a playoff appearance. Now he's finally got one. And I think that might be the difference right now of the perception between him and Burrow. Burrow led a team to the Super Bowl. And if Herbert does that, he's going to be put into a whole nother category.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because you talk about Burrow, you talk about Herbert, Lawrence. I mean, there's a really neat young crop of quarterbacks that are all going to be looking up at Brock Purdy at the end of the year. But
well, the sad part about that group that we just mentioned, all very good, all very promising, and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are also in the AFC. They all can't win. I mean, there's going to be some great quarterbacks that are blocked out in the AFC.
Justin Herbert this year completed 68.2% of his passes. That's a full percent higher than Patrick Mahomes, was second in the league with 4,700 plus yards passing and 25 touchdowns on the season. And this would be an interesting side topic, almost a summertime topic. I found myself when I was talking about Justin Herbert, I said something. I said, he's almost toiling in obscurity in Los Angeles. Are the Los Angeles Chargers the smallest big market team in sports?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, they're in a huge market, but it's almost like, are they a smaller market team than, say, the Angels? Like, that would be another one I would put in there.
I bet in that, because they're also still Orange County, but that greater Los Angeles area, I mean, whatever the order is, but Dodgers, Lakers.
Smaller, big market team. The Los Angeles Chargers or the Oakland Athletics? Because isn't that more about ownership?
Yeah.
But the A's are like, everyone always says the A's are a small market team. No, they're not.
Right.
The A's are a top, 5, 6, 7 market team? Be interesting to do that list. Yeah, it does feel like the Chargers are like Oklahoma City.
Yes.
But in
LA.
In LA. And you know what? Small markets could come in handy. For example, Woodland, not in the top 10 markets, but just 5 minutes from the airport. That's where you can grab yourself a beautiful, shiny, gorgeous, lovely Dodge, Jeep, Ram, family owned and operated. That means something still to this day, especially with the car markets right now, kind of like the real estate market, just all over the place. But Hoblet, it doesn't matter with Hoblet. They're saving you money. It's the Start Something New event going on right now. Save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew cabs. Yeah, save up to $8,000 off MSRP on those 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab. Special 1.9% APR financing, starting as low as $36,630 for those Bighorn Crew Cabs. Jeep Grand Cherokee hybrids, Dodge Challenger GT starting at $29.95. No dealer markup on the most popular Ram and Jeep models. You got other dealers. Ask them. They got to tell you. They're adding dealer markup to MSRP. Hoblet's actually offering, not only not marking it up, they're offering discounts. That's why they're the most trusted dealer in California. They have the largest inventory of heavy-duty trucks in the state, every type of Ram 2500 HD available, and zero dealer markup. That's why they're J.D. Power's Customer First Award winners for excellence since 2019. Very, very simple, very easy. Search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com. No hassle, no pressure, ever dealership. Steph was back. Donovan Mitchell returned to Utah. And a record night for the Miami Heat. We'll tell you what happened in the NBA next.
Coming off a record-setting win over the Magic, the Kings look to make it 2 in a row Wednesday night against the last-place Houston Rockets at the Golden One Center.
Gets it, gives to Delly. Dellavedova sets the Sacramento Kings franchise record for three-pointers in a game. Number 23.
Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader. Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, continues their $500 primetime football giveaway through the playoffs. That's $500 per game for the late games played Saturday and Sunday night. Still located conveniently downtown in a friendly environment for the best food, best service, and best actions. It's Capital Casino, open 24/7. And please, as always, remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet Store with a question. How is the game of basketball like the Good Feet Store? And the answer is the very best basketball players do it all. Shoot, defend, rebound, they do it all. And the Good Feet Store does it all too. Good Feet manufactures their own line of arch supports, over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities. Good Feet arch support specialists at every store personally fit every customer for free with no obligation. Lastly, Good Feet sells its arch supports exclusively at over 200 Good Feet stores nationwide. Sore feet, aching back, knee or hip pain, even plantar fasciitis? When nothing else works, come to the Good Feet Store and experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville off Nut Tree Parkway by Sprouts, online at goodfeet.com.
When it comes to your sewer, what goes down must come out. Get a detailed video inspection absolutely free with any sewer drain cleaning and keep life flowing in the right direction. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
I don't know how all this list is, but now I'm on this big market, small market thing. So New York City, for example, has 7.7 million homes with TVs, according to this list, where LA has 5.8 million, Chicago 3.6. Just to give you an idea of market disparity, New York City has 7.7 million homes with TVs in it. And according to this list, Green Bay has 471,000.
Wow.
They have 471.
Just a little bit different.
This is why. This is a huge reason why NFL football works so well and baseball and basketball could take notes. The bottom two markets in American sports, Green Bay, and then right up there with 632,000 TVs, Buffalo. You're talking two huge football towns.
Right.
And you're talking about the number 2 seed. The next smallest Sports town, as far as TV market, Memphis. They're right there up there at the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Right after that, New Orleans.
How about that?
Right there at the number 1 seed. In case you're wondering, by the way, Sacramento is number 20 on the list, just behind Cleveland. And I think Sacramento's going to catch Cleveland here pretty quick. And ahead of Charlotte, Portland, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh, by the way. Pittsburgh, which has the Steelers. How do they have the Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins, and we just have the Kings? They should give us one.
Which would you pick?
Which would I pick?
Easy choice. This is the easiest choice.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I didn't want to overthink it.
Yeah.
Steelers. And we
Sacramento
have
Steelers.
Sacramento Steelers. Go, hey, like the Solons. The Steelers. Yeah. We have breaking news.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sactown Sports breaking news.
This actually couldn't come at a stranger time, coincidentally, given what you're talking about. According to Arash Markazi.
Oh, this is basketball.
No, it is not.
Wow.
The Oakland A's narrowed their stadium search in Las Vegas to the Tropicana and the Las Vegas Festival grounds, but are focused on building a $1 billion domed ballpark at the Tropicana location.
I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of it for A's fans.
This is also coming off the heels that John Fisher doesn't think the stadium deal at Howard Terminal is going to be seen through. Starting to get more and more information that Oakland may be losing its baseball team. After, I don't know if you guys know this, they lost their basketball and football team too.
So lame. It's so lame, dude. And I know that's like super awesome analysis by me, but it's so lame because on one hand, I want to say, just go.
Right.
Just go. You're gross. You've completely beaten down this fan base, this team. You're fielding, like, honest to God. Well, you know how, like, some people are like, they're fielding a AAA. They're like fielding a AAA team. Like, if you put next year's Oakland A's roster in the PCL, are we sure they'll finish first? Are we sure?
Right.
Well, it's so weird.
It's just interesting now with that, again, what Fisher is, telling people behind the scenes. Also, no A's Fan Fest this year. Instead, they're doing this like online week of like giveaways and fun stuff.
There's no way they could have done a Fan Fest because it would have just turned into a protest. That's all it would have been. And don't blame the A's fans.
Not at all. They're not to blame here. The other part about this, I'm sure the report is accurate. At what point we just did the list of, the Chargers being in LA. It's a star-studded city. They've got a good team. The Chargers are good.
Sure.
But on the sports resume there, like they're so far down the ladder. Vegas is a star-built town too, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden from no teams to the Knights to the Raiders to the A's. How are the A's? Let's just put them there with this $1 billion park. How are they going to do?
And two things on top of that, the NBA wants to expand in Las Vegas, which the NBA is way more popular than MLB at this point. And number two, you saw some reports this week that Mark Davis has grown incredibly frustrated with the amount of road teams that come in and essentially take over Allegiant Stadium.
Get used to that.
Duh, stupid.
Uh-huh. Yet,
it's a destination city. That's where gosh, if you're a Giants fan, let's just throw it out there, right? Let's go check out the Giants, play some interleague ball in Vegas.
Well, that also, too, I think is going to be a time thing. Like, it's definitely a destination city. That'll never change. But I think you have to get the inundation of, I've lived in Vegas now for 30 years. The Raiders have been here for 30 years.
Sure.
I'm a lifelong, you need a kid that grew up going to the games and then buy tickets, but that's going to take generations.
Yes, it will. It's not going to happen. And by the way, the A's.
You mean all the dozens and dozens of A's fans in Vegas?
Well, they're going to make new fans, but by the time
they will.
By the time Jason's scenario hits, the A's will have moved 2 more times. That's the problem.
Right.
And speaking of that list we were just going over, you might be, and again, this is a little misleading with Vegas because of how their population works. But according to this, there's only 6 cities in all of American sports that have a smaller TV market than Las Vegas. Jacksonville, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, Memphis, Buffalo, Green Bay. That's it. That's those are the only cities.
I feel like that's changing, but I know the point. Yeah.
It's not only is it changing, but like you said, they're a destination city, so a lot of people come in, come out.
I think the thing that's really gross about this is MLB is really working in concert, I think, with John Fisher to get the A's in Vegas. You're also hearing reports that there's going to be no moving fee.
Right.
Like,
of course not. And let's also acknowledge no pun intended here, the elephant in the room, that the fact that these sports leagues are now fully in bed and literally they're like procreating with betting places.
Yeah.
Like they're making babies. That doesn't hurt Vegas either, having sports centric there. You've got the NFL, as you said, the NBA is going to Vegas. They will be in Vegas.
And I think they'll do well.
And I think that I actually think the NBA will be the best overall sport in Vegas.
Yeah.
Indoor, much like football is, but I think even a little bit more. I think the Raiders will be fun. They're already fine. That's
right.
A beautiful stadium.
Yeah, no, they do well. They fill up. I know it's a problem with the other team, but they still, have great crowds. But I think the same thing would happen with the A's if they go there. Like me being a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? In July, it's going to be hot, but they're in a dome. Let's go to Vegas. I'll see 2 games, Yankees and A's.
And here's the thing. What do you do if you're an A's fan? Are you possibly going to follow them to Vegas?
Right.
Are you just you can't go to the Giants, right? I wish you could. I'd love it. More room on the wagon, everybody. Yeah. But I understand that. You've spent years listening to prissy, lame Giants fan talk down to you. Now you're going to join their fan base. I get it.
I mean, most of the fan base has already flipped the bird, it feels like, to ownership in the franchise. I just think they'll be orphans.
They're just orphans?
Yeah. They'll be done with baseball. It's just sad.
That's the thing. It's not sustainable. It's not like baseball is the coolest sport in America anyways. So they're just orphans. They're just, I was a baseball fan, and now now it's dead. Steph came back last night, and the Warriors lost. By the way, that was what the segment was.
Third straight home.
Third straight at home.
Thanks for taking the shine, A's.
Yeah, A's. John Fisher. We'll clean up some of this NBA stuff in the next segment because there was some cool stuff, including Miami setting a pretty amazing record. Donovan Mitchell returning to Utah. And we'll get into the first part of the Kings and Rockets. Let's look at some of their rankings and the difference between those rankings. It is stark, like Tony. We'll do that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. And Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You've heard me talk with my friend Shelby about real estate for a long, long time. You know what? Shelby's main goal? He just wants to help you save money no matter how. So what is Shelby doing right now with the real estate market all over the place? He's pivoting. SolarWithShelby.com. And you might be saying like, oh God, solar. No, listen, Shelby's got it dialed in, especially if you're a PG&E customer. He can save you 30 to 50% off your bill, 30% federal tax credit, dollar for dollar. It comes back in cash. Protect yourself from inflation. These numbers could be going up and up and up. 100% financing. Yeah, they've got it. Nothing down, 30% tax credit, 25-year guarantee. What more do you need? Go to SolarWithShelby.com. That's what you need. You need solar. SolarWithShelby.com. Save yourself some money today and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, Visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Hey guys, if you have Peyronie's disease, West Coast Men's Health can help. Acoustic wave therapy can dissolve the knot that's causing the problem. No pill or cream will ever do that. And right now, we're offering a free treatment just for coming in. If you suffer from Peyronie's or ED, call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Sacramento and San Mateo, call 916-829-8273. That's 916-829-8273. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
If you like to walk when you play, you're looking for a golf bag that's easy to carry. If you ride in a cart, you're looking for a bag with lots of storage area. Sun Mountain has come up with a bag that serves both masters. The Sun Mountain 4.5 LS 14-way stand bag is a lightweight, mid-sized bag weighing about 5 pounds. With the Easy Light dual strap system, it's built for carrying while incorporating cart-friendly features. The Sun Mountain 4.5 LS 14-way offers a cart strap pass-through which runs behind the clothing pocket so you can still get into the pockets while the bag is secured to the cart. The 14-way top refers to individual full-length club dividers that organize and protect your clubs. 9 pockets include a full-length clothing pocket, a hydration pocket, multiple accessory pockets, and a water-resistant velour-lined valuables pocket. With 8 colorways available, you'll find one to fit your personality. I've met the designers of this Montana-based company, and they go to great lengths to design and construct products that work. Learn more at sunmountain.com. That's your golf to go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need presentations and brochures printed, and they have to be perfect.
Your bounded presentations, brochures with the finest folds, and more will be done right every time. That's our Print Big promise. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more, plus 20% back by a store bonus. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 2/11. Rewards members only. Bonus must be redeemed in store. See staples.com/stores/printbig for details.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings look to get their second win in a row tonight when the Houston Rockets visit the Golden One Center. Houston comes in sporting an NBA worst 10-30 record and will also play the Kings on Friday night. Coverage of tonight's action begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. Steph Curry returned last night for the Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough for the Dubs, who fell short to an injury-riddled Phoenix Suns team, 125-113. Curry finished the game with 24 points in 31 minutes of action. The Warriors are now 2 games back of the Sacramento Kings for first place in the Pacific Divisions. Reports indicate that the Denver Broncos have interviewed Michigan and former San Francisco 49ers head coach Jim Harbaugh. The Broncos are also expected to try to interview 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans, and news has broke they also are expected to interview former head coach in the NFL, Jim Caldwell. Those are your top stories. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Fine, let's do everything Jay wants to do. Welcome back. It's always, I always say, do everything Jay wants to do, you're going to be up.
Yeah.
Jay Mars behind the glass.
What's he doing behind the glass?
I don't know. He always looks like he's DJing.
Yeah, he is a DJ.
He is a DJ. Maybe that's what he's doing. Hey, here's an old man move I pulled yesterday. I was driving back from my son's game. I had like a 40-minute drive. It was up in Bowman. You know where Bowman is? It's off of 80. It's up there, right? Just
Michelle Dapper cover the game?
Seriously, right? By the way, big win for the Wolf Pack over the Bulls.
They got him with a big first half.
Big first half, a lot of defense. The seventh graders, our guys got trounced. It was like 38-10. Although they did, the spread was 29.5, so they did cover. Nice. Yeah, they did. And then we turned around and got a huge road win. They're supposed to be one of the powerhouses, the Bowman team. We got them.
Bowman Bulldogs.
Real quick etiquette question for you guys. Now, I'm a vet at these games now. Been doing it for a while, and I know that they don't sell concessions at little kid games, right? So I popped a double bag of popcorn. I brought 3 drinks and some gummy bears, and I put them in a duffel bag and brought them in with me. I know, first off, guy walking into bearded oaf walking into a school with a duffel bag, probably not the best show, but I made sure it was a basketball duffel bag. And then I sat with my wife and daughter, and we ate popcorn.
Okay.
Bad etiquette, good etiquette, doesn't matter. I felt a little weird.
It would only be bad etiquette if they sold concessions. Since they don't sell concessions, I think you're fine.
And to be fair, and I went in with this thought: if they sold concessions, I was not going to break.
Yeah, if they sell concessions,
right.
It's bad etiquette.
Because a lot of that's fundraising and stuff like that. I would have bought it. Anyways, big win. Big win.
Nice.
Yeah, that's your big update right there. Steph came back last night. They've lost now 3 straight. The Warriors have at home. And not as they really, honestly, for a second there, I thought the Warriors were going to come back at the end of that game.
Yeah.
That Phoenix just fell apart.
Well, Phoenix had lost 6 in a row, and it also should be known that obviously Booker's still out, but Chris Paul didn't play.
Yeah.
Ayton didn't. I mean, that's a bad loss for the Warriors.
It really is a bad loss for the Warriors, considering they had Draymond Green, they had Steph Curry. I understand it was Steph's first night back. I get that, but you still have him on the floor. You have Klay Thompson on the floor. It's a really, really bad loss at home. They end up losing by 12, and honestly, up until the end, it was not that close. And Steph 8-22. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, let me do the quick math here, guys. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins combined to go 23 of 61 from the field. Not great. Warriors shot 38%. They are now 20-21. They dropped to 17-5 at home.
But that's, like we said, 3 straight losses. So 17-2 to 17-5.
That means the Suns won, though. And the Suns are just a game and a half back of the Kings in first place. The Sorry, I just want to stop for a second. It is January 11th. I just said they're a game and a half. I just said the Suns are a game and a half back of the Kings for first place in the Pacific. And I didn't even stutter on that.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment. And the Clippers beat Dallas, which is now we're really kind of technically
helpful-ish.
Yeah, I mean, we don't care about that. I'm not gonna lie, like I care more about the playoff seeding, of course. Would I like to win the Pacific Division? Yes. So the Clippers win. They're a game back of the Kings. So the Clippers are in second. But with a win tonight against Houston, the Sacramento Kings will be tied with the Mavericks for the 4 seed. And I want to say, I think they'll be ahead of them percentage-wise. So that would be hosting a playoff series. One other note, normally we would not care nor tell you about a 1-point home win for the Heat over the Thunder. Thunder are coming in here later this year. The Thunder are a little bit scary to me.
Absolutely. Super competitive every night.
There's so much talent on that team.
And remember, Chet is not playing.
I know. And they're gonna have another good pick this year.
Yes.
And they have like 9 billion picks they can trade for an established star, too. That is a scary, scary future team. But Miami They won 112-111. They set an NBA record by going 40 of 40 from the free throw line. Jimmy Butler, 23 of 23. No one else missed one. Imagine the pressure you're under in a 1-point victory. You're not Jimmy Butler per se, but let's say you're Victor Oladipo. Let's say you're Strus. Let's say you're Highsmith, and you're up there at the free throw line. Also, are you aware of one other note from that game? That's not even, I mean, they set an NBA record for free throws. That might not even be the weirdest thing out of that game. Former Sacramento King Dwayne Dedmon was ejected. He's coming off the floor. He has harsh words for Eric Spoelstra. Let's also point out, second year in a row, Eric Spoelstra's had harsh words with a player on the floor. Who was it last year that said he, was it him and Jimmy Butler? Oh, yeah, it was him and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and then Haslam
jumps in.
Right.
So he has harsh words for Spoelstra, and then he slaps a Theragun massage gun that ends up going all the way across the floor, and he gets teched and tossed. I've never seen anything like that.
That was bizarre.
There's a writer for the Miami, I think it was the Sun Sentinel, and the line he used is, Dwayne Dedmon, who is often in a foul mood anyways. So, by the way, stretch 5. Dwayne Dedmon returned. The Rockets and okay, real quick. Dwayne Dedmon, Willie Cauley-Stein. You have to sign one to the Kings tomorrow.
Dwayne Dedmon.
Okay. But you said that like.
I mean, if it's a have to.
It's a have to.
Yeah, you know what? Dwayne Dedmon, then I trade him.
Then you trade him right away? Then you release him.
For Willie.
Let's go let's go inside the numbers with the Kings and Rockets. So the Kings have the number 1 offense in the league. The Rockets have the 29th offense.
Ooh, I like that for the Kings.
That's out of 30 teams, by the way. The Kings, I love seeing this. Number 4 in the league in assists. The Rockets are number 30. They don't like to pass.
Sharing is caring.
No. The Rockets lead the league in turnovers. Here's someplace the Rockets.
Yeah, here's the lean for the Rockets.
Number 1 in offensive rebounds.
That's been a problem for the Kings.
Yeah, number 26.
Yeah.
Okay, so keys to Katie's when Kayte comes on at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Key to the keys. Katie's keys. If you can out offensive rebound but here's the other thing. It's kind of skewed. Here's why. And I'll have to look, but I'm just gonna bet without even looking that the Sacramento Kings have a significantly better shooting percentage than the Houston Rockets.
Oh yeah, the Kings are one of the best shooting teams in the league, and Houston, I don't remember looking up. I think they're near the bottom.
So,
if not the bottom.
Right. So
more misses, and they've got good young athletes, so they're getting in there, getting some second chance points.
The Kings are shooting 40. Is that right? Kings are shooting 49% from the field overall.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of 50% games or more.
Golly gee.
And where does that put them?
That's just the Kings. Yeah, just the Kings. I gotta look at the overall standings there. The Rockets. All right, let's see. Take it again. What do you think the Rockets are?
44.
Celebrity birthdays, right on the nose. 44.3%. Well, that's why, sort of. I mean, when you miss more, you have more shots in an offensive rebound. That being said, though, they do have some bigs there. Guys like we talked about Alperen Sengun. I'm really looking forward to that matchup. That'll be fun to see Sabonis give him a little bit of an education there on a guy that I think is going to be a really, really good future player in this league. But on paper, Jason,
yeah,
this should be a very comfortable victory for the Kings.
Yeah, I mean, if they do that, it's one of those things where, and I know the coaching staff always talks about this, it's really worrying about themselves. They'll game plan for Houston. They'll figure out what they need to stop, who the key guys are, what are the matchup troubles.
Yes.
But to your point, if the Kings do what they do well, which is score the ball, pacing, spread the floor, hit their threes, defend enough, get enough rebounds, force the Rockets into turnovers, this is a team that has the worst record. So they make more mistakes than you do generally. But same team that's beaten Phoenix twice. They've beaten the Sixers. They've beaten the Bucks. They're more than capable.
Yes.
You just got to do your thing.
Yeah. Notable 10 wins this year for Houston. Utah, Orlando, Dallas, Atlanta, who the Kings can't figure out, Oklahoma City, Philly, Milwaukee. I forgot about that on my mom's birthday. Milwaukee, they had back-to-back wins against Milwaukee and Phoenix. And then their last win was December 26th against Chicago. As we talked about yesterday, after that Phoenix win, the Houston Rockets were 9-18. They are now 10-30. Simple math means they have lost 12 of their last 13. This is where the Kings have to get healthy. They have been allergic all year to being 5 games over 500. Tonight would put them 4 over, and then a win on Friday night against the Rockets again before they go out for a quick 2-game road trip. That would put them 5 over, and that would put them in the 4 spot in the West before that road trip.
Yeah, now get them to halfway. They're past the halfway point in home schedule. I mean, a lot of things are lined up well, but, you know, I'm sure Coach Brown put the point of emphasis last game on points in the paint. I don't know what his point of emphasis will be. I'm sure he still wants that to be cleaned up, but I'm not really worried about their offense. It's just if they can continue to defend consistently and even have a game like they did with the Magic. Like more times than not, Dave, the games at home have been close right down to the end. Get your work done early. See if you can get a comfortable one tonight.
There's something I want you both to think about. We'll take a break. We're going to have Kayte on at 8. We're going to get into some other things, but there's a question I want to pose to you guys. I fully believe Monty McNair is not going to force anything, but I think it's more likely than not that he's going to make a move to supplement this squad, whether it's a backup big, another playmaker, whatever it may be. Let's say he's able to bring in a defensive stud.
Okay.
What is the most expendable position right now in the starting 5, if that were the case, to put this stud? Is it Harrison? Is it
not center?
Is it Keegan? Is it center and moving Domas to the 4? It's certainly not point guard. I wouldn't think it would be 2, but you've got to pick a place for a top 10, 12 defensive person, let's say, to come in, and you've got to pick the guy to go to the bench without screwing this team up. Who is it? I think I know who it is, but I'm curious as to what you guys say. We will take a break. The impact of injured players. Who's the coach of the year in the NFL? And what the heck are the Bears going to do? We got 3 for Madness next.
Coming off a record-setting win over the Magic, the Kings look to make it 2 in a row Wednesday night against the last-place Houston Rockets at the Golden One Center.
Gets it, gives to Delly. Dellavedova sets the Sacramento Kings franchise record for 3-pointers in a game. Number 23.
Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
What's going on? Joined as always by Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, what's up with the Chrysler Start Something New event?
Hoblet is the most trusted dealer in California and is known for having the largest inventory of heavy-duty trucks in the state. We have every type of Ram 2500 heavy-duty available and 0 dealer markup. In fact, right now you can save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs with financing starting at 1.9% and prices as low as $39,630.
Oh, is that all?
No, that's not it. We also have up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs as well.
What are you waiting for? Stop by the Hoblet Ram Truck Center off County Road 102 and I-5 today, or search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$12,000 in total net savings after $6,000 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discount. Rebates include $2,000 Chrysler Captive bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Cap to qualify. 1.9% financing available for 36 months on approved credit. $28.61 per $1,000 borrowed. $8,000 total net savings after $2,000 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discount. 10 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, 14 minutes, 7:27. We're going to go to the NFC playoffs. We did the AFC earlier, coming up at 8 o'clock. Kayte Christensen. We've got the Kevin Herter Show at 8:27 right now, though we have Jay Mars.
Hi.
We have 3 for Madness.
Which NBA star that is currently injured will make the biggest impact on their team when they return?
Steph just came back last night, so he don't count, I guess.
I guess you could put him in there.
I guess you could. You're right.
Well, so far he hasn't made the biggest return.
I mean, honestly,
to
me, I don't know that there's many people in the league that would make more of an impact than Steph Curry. And when I think of this question, the way, just so you know, I'm thinking of it is, who will contribute to the biggest net increase versus wins and losses by being on the team as opposed to being injured? And the Warriors, as we saw a couple years ago are a lottery team when Steph isn't playing. They are a championship contender, and in last year's case, a championship winner when Steph is playing. So I'm going to put Steph aside because he's back just to cheat here a little bit. I've got a couple names in mind. I'm leaning towards one, or I was during the break, but Jason, you kind of talked me out of it, weirdly enough. And by weirdly enough, I just mean I don't think you really tried. You just mentioned the name. Devin Booker makes such a difference. And by the way, I'm not entirely sure that he's the biggest difference maker on his own team, because you could make an argument for Chris Paul, though the numbers aren't as flashy. But Phoenix right now, despite last night's win, they are lost. I do not believe they have lost this much talent over 1 year when they had the best record in the NBA. You saw it last night. Ayton's out, Paul's out, Booker's out. I'm going to say Devin Booker. They are not a good team without him.
Yeah, there's a lot of candidates out there with the high volume of players that are injured. The one I keep landing on, though, is Durant.
That's where I was leaning.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't, only because they still have Kyrie and they still have some players, but player for player, I think you're 100% right.
They just don't seem that special without Durant to me.
No.
And when he's on the floor, especially what they were doing over the last month and a half, they look actually like a team that could win it all, when I didn't think so even before, especially when they were here. They looked totally lost, and he was on the floor. But take him away for the next 4 weeks, I just think the Nets are kind of ordinary.
Number 2.
Question 2.
What should the Chicago Bears do with the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft?
They should light some cigars. They should pour some champagne, and they should really, truly, honest to God, especially for a guy that's probably not in the greatest mood right now. He's had a rough week. They should seriously send Lovie Smith like an all-expenses-paid vacation to Paris or someplace cool, wherever Lovie wants to go, someplace maybe on an island, because of the favor that the Texans did. By winning.
He also got them to the Super Bowl once upon a time.
Who, Lovie Smith?
Correct.
Really?
Lovie Smith was head coach.
That's
team,
right.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith, arguably the all-time most valuable person for the Chicago Bears, other than George Hallis. George Hallis, Lovie Smith,
Walter Payton.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, all right.
Sweetness.
Yeah, you always bring Walter Payton. Yeah, you're right. So they should celebrate their good fortune, but because the Texans won that meaningless, stupid game, the Bears are now in a wonderful position. They don't. The presumptive number 1 pick is Bryce Young. That's the prize of the draft that people are saying. I think the first thing the Bears should do is they should say, "Hey, Houston, what are you willing to do?" Because Houston needs a quarterback terribly. What are you willing? Unless Davis Mills is the way to go.
Yeah.
What are you willing to give? Either way, somebody is going to give the Bears a nice, lovely haul, and the Bears are probably going to end up, depending on where they go, either flush with players and picks, or they're going to end up getting the guy they would have wanted anyways to fit their team and a bunch of other players or presence. Plus, they have the most cap room in the league. They're in a really good spot right now for a bad team.
I think they should do one idea that's going to serve two needs here. Really, really look at this quarterback class and Bryce Young. Okay. I'm not saying that they should pick him, but they should really think about it. If he is as good as a lot of people think he could be, or his potential, and actually it's supposed to be maybe 2 to 3 quarterbacks that are going to go pretty high, which always seems to happen anyway, take a real long interest in him. And it also not only a smokescreen, but then provides, wait, are the Bears really going to look at taking a quarterback number 1? That changes the whole gamut, and that I think increases that asking price. And then if someone comes in, the Raiders, the Texans, all these teams that now need a quarterback, maybe offer the moon. Say, all right, fine. We actually do have Justin Fields, and communicate openly with Justin Fields too, by the way, during this process.
Yeah.
And then say, yeah, you know what? We'll take 4 future picks. We'll move down to 8 and blah, 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 and take a good player and ride with this young quarterback.
And that's where I think Houston comes into play, because I think in the Bears' dream world, they get a nice, decent haul from Houston to move down 1 spot. And then they end up taking the guy they want anyways in Jalen Carter, I'm almost certain, out of Georgia, who just declared he's coming out. He's a junior. That was expected. And there are many, many, many people that say Jalen Carter is the best player in the draft overall, but quarterback's a very specialized position, quite important in the NFL. Either way, good to be a Bear right now.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Question 3.
Who is your pick for NFL Coach of the Year?
Okay. I don't want to do the thing that we often do, where I'll go through everyone. He's not going to win it, but I think that Pete Carroll should get some serious notice. Geno Smith's going to get comeback player of the year almost certainly. That's a lot of Pete Carroll. What the job he did with Seattle and the fact that the Seahawks, after trading Russell Wilson and the whole haul that they have, including what they're going to do in the draft this year, you want to talk about being in a good spot. The fact that he was able to go 9-8 with them in that division that we thought was going to be the slaughterhouse, nobody had them there. They are arguably the most surprising team in the NFL this year, considering where everybody thought they would be. There's a lot of it's between Jacksonville and Philly for me. It's between those two guys.
Can I give one other team?
Yeah.
Dable, Giants.
Wow, no love for Kyle Shanahan and what he's done with 3 different quarterbacks.
I think Shanahan will finish top 5, and I think he deserves a mention. I'm an idiot for forgetting Dable, who's gonna be top 3, if not top 2.
It's generally a team that we didn't think was going to be good that overachieves. I thought the Niners would be good, and what Shanahan's done has been great. I think Shanahan's a tremendous coach, but Sirianni's a good call.
I think Sirianni,
Dayball, Doug Peterson.
I think if I had to guess, I would say, oh God,
I think Sirianni wins it.
It's Dayball or Sirianni, I think. Okay, I go Sirianni, Dayball, and Peterson.
How about a little love? He won't win either, but our guy Campbell,
Dan Campbell, deserves a lot of love. You know who's not going to get a lot of love because he never gets a lot of love. And I think we should just take a moment and address the greatness that is here and in our world that will be talked about forever. And just every year is under the radar is Mike Tomlin. He's so good. How in God's name did the Pittsburgh Steelers finish above 5? He's never finished below 500.
Yeah.
How did they finish above 5? No quarterback. I mean, they had a quarterback, obviously, but you know the situation there. Yeah, TJ Watt hurting. What do they have? I mean, obviously they have good lines. They have a little bit of talent. I just think dollar for dollar, player for player, Tomlin, probably easily top 7, but he's not going to get coach of the year notice.
Always gets hurt are the teams with great QBs, like Andy Reid. Oh, he can't win. Oh, I can win with Mahomes.
Right.
Well, then what happens when, like a year like this year with Brady,
right,
with Rodgers? Oh, I can win with Brady. And they didn't win very many games.
No, they didn't.
But if they go 15-2 next year, anybody can win with Brady. Sometimes those coaches are pretty good too.
Well, and that's why with Andy Reid, with Kyle Shanahan, with those guys, to Jay's point, yeah, they should get some notice, but I think they're like, I'm fine with not getting it. I'd rather be where I'm at than win coach of the year and play for our coach's sucky team. Speaking of the NFC, we looked at the AFC earlier. Let's check the NFC playoffs. And, of course, your San Francisco 49ers next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar and Home Services. So, obviously, they have solar right now. Solar would be good. You can get some stuff back against the grid when this time where we've had power outages and different things going on. But for us, it was about the home services part. The roofing is where it really came into handy for us. In this last summer, we decided to take on the task of putting on a new roof on our house. And when we met with a couple of different roofing companies, we met with John, the owner at ACR Solar and Home Services, the roofing expert Joe Peterson. We knew that they were the right connection for us. And then, so here we are, fast forwarding now to all these nasty conditions we've had over the last few weeks, and we're fine. We have peace of mind knowing that our roof is going to handle this weather. And it's the wind and the rain. It's been very daunting and overwhelming, but we have been safe inside, and that's what's most important. We also have better curb appeal. We love the way the roof looks. And we now know that we are in a good position for our home to have this roof for a long, long time. They're great people. Their communication was awesome on the project, and we are very thankful for that. So if you're in need of any home services, solar, roofing, check out acrsolar.com.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with ED? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 11th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Coastside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain that spark, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday, 916-603-2000.
Welcome, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet Store with a question. How is the game of basketball like the Good Feet Store? And the answer is the very best basketball players do it all. Shoot, defend, rebound, they do it all. And the Good Feet Store does it all too. Good Feet manufactures their own line of arch supports, over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities. Good Feet arch support specialists at every store personally fit every customer for free with no obligation. Lastly, Good Feet sells its arch supports exclusively at over 200 Good Feet stores nationwide. Sore feet, aching back, knee or hip pain, even plantar fasciitis? When nothing else works, come to the Good Feet Store and experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville off Nut Tree Parkway by Sprouts, online at goodfeet.com.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings look to get their second win in a row tonight when the Houston Rockets visit the Golden One Center. Houston comes in sporting an NBA worst 10-30 record and will also play the Kings on Friday night. Coverage of tonight's action begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. Steph Curry returned last night for the Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough for the Dubs, who fell short to an injury-riddled Phoenix Suns team 125-113. Curry finished the game with 24 points in 31 minutes of action. The Warriors are now 2 games back of the Sacramento Kings for first place in the Pacific Division. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
My dad was just texting me during the break asking about Stetson Bennett, why he wasn't being mentioned. I said, I don't think he's a first-round pick. Now, it's always interesting with guys like that because he's 5'11", 190. But he also just finished off one of the great college careers. But you never know. Is he just a guy that is great at winning? Because Tim Tebow was really good at that, too. Yeah. You could argue that Tim Tebow had the, if not certainly, top 5 greatest, most accomplished college career ever. And, obviously not great in the NFL. Bennett's also 25, which isn't exactly a baby. That'd be very interesting to watch a guy coming out in the draft this year who is older than Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Tua Tagovailoa.
Wow.
He's older than all of them.
Yeah. I don't know where he stands. I mean, I think he's a great college quarterback. And that's okay.
And sometimes that's enough.
Yep.
Sometimes that's enough. I will never forget the Jeff George draft. I'm going way back. I thought Jeff George was a can't miss.
Right.
Remember as a little kid going, this guy, he's insane. Well, he missed.
Yeah. And I don't know why that position, I think, misses quite a bit. And people jump to get a quarterback. And so we know the names more. And we're not going to, all those defensive ends that failed. Like, we just don't follow that as much.
Right.
But there's a lot of misses.
With all the money that goes into scouting.
Yeah.
With all the tape, with all the TV. You look at a guy like Stetson Bennett. I mean, look who he's faced off against.
Yeah.
Here's what he does have going for him more than any other quarterback in the draft this year. He's been on the big stage.
Yep.
He's come through. He's knocked out some pretty big giants. But in the end, the best quarterback in the draft is, going to be, Fryer McGee and Stein from
Ball State.
Ball State.
Yeah. Fryer McGee and Stein. I mean, it is. I watched every snap of Josh Rosen's college career at UCLA.
Yes.
And I'm like, he's big. He's got a strong arm. He's mobile enough. He throws people open. He's going to be even better in the pros. Watch it. Can't miss. He's going to be great. He is going to be awesome. And I couldn't have been more wrong about it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I still don't understand.
Is he? He's been out of the league a while. Is he done? I
don't know. He's bounced around from practice squad. I mean, he's been on like 7 teams. And other people would say, oh, you're just a homer for UCLA. I go, not at all. This isn't that. I've watched every play. There's other quarterbacks I thought, I don't think they've got much of a future that I liked at UCLA. I go, this one, he's going to be great.
So you forgot 2 of the most important things that we don't talk about when it comes to scouting NFL quarterbacks. Number 1, the last name. Rosen's fine.
Yeah.
Rosen's a fine last name. Generally, you've got to have a cool last name to be a good quarterback, with a few exceptions. And secondly, what does their face look like? I just want to remind you of Josh Rosen face, which is not as bad as Jay Cutler face.
Yeah, but it's a pretty close.
It's a pretty loserly face. Yeah. Although, listen, Eli Manning, loserly face, 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I think maybe the whole thing is Rosen realized maybe he's left-handed. I don't know.
Is there something you do not know? I am not left-handed. NFC playoffs. How about this? The playoffs kick off, pun intended, at 1:30 Saturday with your San Francisco 49ers.
Let's go.
And how great would it be for Niner fan just to get the win out of the way nice and early and sit back and enjoy the rest of the playoff
and
weekend.
watch the carnage after. That's the best scenario. Obviously, we wouldn't want to talk about the other scenario. But yeah, that would be awesome. Perfect way to start.
I don't like the other scenario.
No, that's why we're not discussing it.
The other scenario is lame. Let me take a quick look at iPhone weather here in Santa Clara, California, because you listen.
We'll close the roof. Let's just close the roof, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They added that, right? Didn't they?
I think so, right? Yeah, just close the roof.
Think about having to worry about weather in California, and we do.
I mean, I saw this morning they were blow drying. They weren't tarping.
That's right.
They were blow drying the field out there. So either way,
blade by blade,
they're just out there with a towel.
There's a bunch of people.
Like in Green Bay with the snow.
Yeah.
They get the volunteer fans just to blow on the grass. That sounded weird.
But they would do it there.
They would.
They're owners.
They would 100. They are owners. Yeah. This Saturday, there is a 90% chance of rain with a high of 56 degrees.
Okay.
The 49ers, needless to say, are favored by 9.5. Golly, that's high. But they're also a juggernaut right now.
They are. They're playing well. I mean, what's the roadmap for Seattle, right? It's one game, so anything can happen. They're going to be familiar enough with this team. Gino would have to play well.
Yeah.
Keep Bosa. The line would have to, keep him out of there and get those. The one area and Matt Barrow said it, picking on some of the defensive backs. So if you can get Metcalf loose and get time for Geno Smith, but then you'd have to have Purdy make some mistakes. The Niners put the ball on the ground. I mean, again, I think the Niners would have to be off of their game, which is possible. But if they play their game, you feel really good about what San Francisco should be able to do.
I agree with you. They'd have to be off their game. Here's the roadmap, I think. Very quietly, Seattle had a really good draft, and they have some opportunistic guys in the secondary. It's wet out there. You pick Brock Purdy, maybe, put him in a tough spot, get in his head a little bit. If it's rainy and muddy, Kenneth Walker's probably, if not, he's going to be second in your offensive rookie of the year voting. So you just run Kenneth Walker down the throat. And then again, it's going to be wet for Geno Smith too, but he's got 2 home run hitters in Lockett and Metcalf.
Yeah.
I think if they can be opportunistic and get into Purdy's head, rattle him a little bit, maybe with a pick or two, a slip, this or that. You play smash mouth with Walker, and then you get a couple of home runs with Metcalf or Lockett. That's what I think Pete Carroll. Obviously, I mean that's what Pete Carroll's going to go for. I think that's their roadmap. Easier said than done.
Yeah, and I've said this for a couple of years about the Niners. I still think they're slightly guilty of this. It's gotten better this year of settling for field goals sometimes, or they stall and get field goals. So, for example, let's just say they, sometimes one of the things I watch in games is if the Niners score 4 times, let's say early on, and it's 3 field goals and a touchdown, that gives them 16. Yes. And the Seattle gets a score, and then there's one of those weird plays, scoop and score, kick return, something like that, and you go, wait, it's 16-14? The Niners have moved the ball a bunch, but they settled for 3 field goals, and now you're one mistake away from losing a game. So that's another area that always kind of lurks to me with the 49ers, but they've been much better at that this year. They have getting touchdowns as opposed to field goals.
Looking ahead to some other, so you'll have the Chargers Jaguars that night. I know we're doing NFC, but you got 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then you got the Cowboys Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
That's weird when they added that last year, but that's fine. We get another day of football.
Giants Vikings. This is interesting. The Vikings are 3-point favorites. Giants rested pretty much everybody last week.
Nobody believes in the Vikings, seemingly.
They don't believe in the Vikings. Last I checked, they were 13-4. Last I checked, they beat the Lions, although early on, but before the Lions really got it together, they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Commanders in Washington, and listen, that's a quality win. That was not an easy game. Now, the one we all remember is that what we thought was going to be the game of the year at Buffalo when they beat them 33-30. That was, listen, they went into Buffalo and won. If there's a caveat, I believe, if I remember correctly, Josh Allen was dealing with an injury in that game. But guess what? The Bills still put up 30.
Yeah.
They still put up 30, and they lost 33-30 at home. Patriots, Jets, and then they do have, and by the way, they beat the Giants 27-24 a couple weeks ago. They have that 41-17 loss at Lambeau.
Right.
That sticks out a little bit. They lost to the Lions by 11. They lost 40-3 to the Cowboys. They lost 24-7 to the Eagles in their second game of the year. So when they lose big.
Right.
And we're still forgetting about the fact that they got boat raced at home by the hapless, inept Indianapolis Colts.
Until they did.
Yeah. And credit to Minnesota for that.
Yep.
And there are some people that would say, you know what? It's games like that give teams like Minnesota that extra sense of confidence of we're a team of destiny. Biggest comeback ever. We're a team of destiny. We will find a way to win. And that shouldn't be discounted. Meanwhile, Brian Daboll is going to try to hit them all in the mouth.
Yeah. And playing them not that long ago gives them some confidence on what they need to do. Minnesota is not the easiest place to play, but I don't think it's also the most difficult either.
I agree with you. Elements won't be an issue. You're in a dome.
Right.
It's going to be a tough pick.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, Buccaneers, Monday Night Football. Obviously, we'll talk more about this.
I think it's a tough pick, too.
There's only one reason it's a tough pick. Because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 12-4 Cowboys at home versus the 8-9 Buccaneers. There is no reason on paper for me to pick Tampa Bay over Dallas. Dallas, by the way, my preseason Super Bowl pick, still alive.
Yep.
There's no reason except it's Tom Brady in the playoffs. I mean, I'm sure I could find some other things in there, X's and O's and all that, but the line is Dallas 2.5, and I swear to God, 5 of those points are because it's Tom Brady.
I'm sure it's not more.
Because you have middle-aged dads like me all over the country that are saying, it's all fun and games so you get in the playoffs. Now here's where Tom Brady's going to show up. Well, by the way, Tom Brady has shown up all year long. Look at Tom Brady's numbers.
Got him an 8-9 record.
Tom Brady was really, really good this year again.
Yeah.
About as under the radar as he could be for Tom Brady because you got Giselle and all the crap going on in Tampa Bay and all that. Look at his, they're very good numbers. I don't know, man. 12-4 at home. Dallas, good on both sides of the ball. And I think Dak Prescott's got a chip on his shoulder right now, and he should.
Yeah.
Dak's been getting a lot of criticism, a lot of it deserved, but a lot of criticism. And it's kind of got to put up or shut up. We're going to do that in the next segment then? Okay, good. So I know I'm going to get a collective eye roll from some Kings fans. During a couple breaks ago, Adrian Wojnarowski dropped a podcast with Tyrese Halliburton. I hear you because I'm one of you when you say, oh, God, is he going to cry again about not being in Sacramento? Listen to it, and I think it's an answer from a kid that has grown up in front of our eyes and who has who's definitely said some things out of emotion. I think you'll enjoy the answer he gives Woj when he's asked about Sacramento. That and some more Kings Rockets preview. We'll do that next.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You've heard me talk with my friend Shelby about real estate for a long, long time. You know what? Shelby's main goal? He just wants to help you save money no matter how. So what is Shelby doing right now with the real estate market all over the place? He's pivoting. Solarwithshelby.com. And you might be saying like, oh, God, solar. No, listen. Shelby's got it dialed in, especially if you're a PG&E customer. He can save you 30 to 50% off your bill, 30% federal tax credit, dollar for dollar. It comes back in cash. Protect yourself from inflation. These numbers could be going up and up and up. 100% financing? Yeah, they've got it. Nothing down, 30% tax credit, 25-year guarantee. What more do you need? Go to solarwithshelby.com. That's what you need. You need solar. Solarwithshelby.com. Save yourself some money today and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Hey, guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that Auto Trader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with Auto Trader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on Auto Trader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, Katie's going to join us in 15 minutes. Kevin Herter. And about 45, we think.
Yeah.
Again, it's game day, so good morning to all of you. Adrian Wojnarowski. Talked to Tyrese Halliburton. And it was so funny. I was just on social media during the break, and I saw Greg Wissinger from Sactown, or Sactown World. Not what are they now? The Kings Herald.
Sactown Kings Herald.
Thank you. he actually quote tweeted Woj's tweet about the Tyrese interview, and just kind of like how we went to break. It was like, shocking. Tyrese is asked about the Sacramento trade. I roll. Yeah, it's exactly what we teased. And I felt the same way. Like, God, come on, we get it. Like, it sucked. We get it. But then, as you said, listening to this.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a little bit different. I think worth playing for y'all. Because we forget sometimes, Tyrese Halliburton didn't do anything wrong. He said he was upset at being traded from Sacramento. He didn't say the fans sucked.
No.
He didn't say he didn't like it here and thank God.
Quite the opposite.
You have a young man who's actually sad about leaving Sacramento because he wanted to do something here. I always felt like, listen, there were times where I was like, okay. But I think a lot of that, too, was us just as a fan base kind of protecting ourselves and wanting to ease the pain a little bit of it because it was tough. Now, Domas is great, but so is Halliburton. And he talks quite a bit here. We'll start with just the specific about the trade itself and where his thoughts are now almost a year later.
I think there's a lot of different emotions that go into it. I think when I got there, I embraced it right away. The fans embraced me back. It was awesome. Like starting my NBA careers there, I'm forever indebted to Sacramento. It was a great place, a great way for me to start my career. To be able to go there and play with De'Aaron and learn from him and see his habits and things like that. It was really good for me coming in as a young guard. Met some great people there. I thought that we had a chance. I think now looking at it, right, me and Fox both have a very good case to be an all-star this year. Two guys who shared the backcourt, especially my second year with me starting. But you see, we're probably better away from each other than we were together. We're both better on the ball. That's just how it is. At the time, I was angry. I was angry for a long time after that, mixed with some sadness, mixed with a ton of different emotions. Now looking back on it, it's the best thing of my career is, being able to move on. But also for them, they were able to get Sabonis, who really has fit well for them. They're playing really well. They look really good as a team. So people keep saying, it's a win-win trade, and maybe they're right. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. We're both playing well. Indy and Sac are both playing well. But yeah, there's not necessarily hard feelings or anything there. I mean, obviously that's in the back of my head, right? Like when we went and played Sac, that game had a little more juice to it. I think for everybody in the arena, not just me, for them, for everybody in the crowd, there was just a lot of energy in that arena, and there's always energy in that arena. But it just felt like there was extra that game, and that's just how it's going to be. Me and the Kings are always going to be forever connected, and no matter what they do, no matter what I do, it's just always going to be that way.
I think it's a well thought out answer.
Absolutely. Not that there needs to be a right or a wrong in an answer, but what would you pick apart there? I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think it's how he felt the truth. It's how we observed it going, man, you like De'Aaron with the ball. You like Tyrese with the ball. I think they kind of chose Tyrese to be on the ball a little bit more and see if they can get the magic from De'Aaron. It just kind of didn't happen. And then they ultimately made the trade.
They made the trade. They, at this time last year, and by the way, it's my fault. I really want to not rehash because this has almost become the new Luka thing. But this time last year, all we were doing was screaming about how imbalanced this roster was. I don't know that you could have done any sort of a move bigger than that you took an imbalance of amazing future all-star, awesome point guards and split them up to bring in your biggest weakness, which was front court.
In retrospect to balance, it had to be Fox or Halliburton, right?
Yes, yeah. and
there's no other. There's nothing else.
Right, and again,
because Mitchell doesn't clean it up.
Mitchell does not.
Right,
and again, because it's still one of those things that I feel is not by most, but by some, still a little misunderstood. And this isn't me commenting on Fox's play at all. In fact, maybe things would have changed now, but at the time, for those of you that are like, well, then you trade Fox. First off, I'm not sure that's the move. Secondly, it wasn't available. That was not on the table, and they had to do something. So Tyrese has had the opportunity to really play his emotions out on a world stage in real time And I think that is the best answer I think he's given, the one that at least I tip my hat to the most since he got traded. But it was a surprise for sure. And he spoke a little bit here about the Kings locker room before the trade deadline.
There was a lot of talks of Buddy getting traded from the day that I got there. And that relationship between Buddy and the Kings is what it is. But like you said, I think myself included, 99% of the organization, I think, believed that I wasn't going to get traded. But, it happened just for the best for everybody. And but, yeah, at the time, there was obviously a lot of backlash for the organization. And I was in a lot of feeling a lot of different type of ways. But, yeah, it's just, it is what it is now.
I think 99% is low. I think there's one guy, maybe two, with Wes. I think Monty and Wes might have been the only guys. And I don't even know that they thought. Who knows? I'd love to. Actually, next time we talk to Monty, I think that'd be a fun question to ask. When did you first start thinking of the possibility that you could trade Tyrese Halliburton last year? You knew there was an imbalance. When was it and how did it initiate? And I don't know if he'd answer that or not, but I'd be really curious to see if Indiana called them out of the blue and said, hey, we're looking at this kid. We're willing to give up some bonus.
Right.
And that changed everything. Or if Monty said, what do you think about this guy?
Yeah. When you were saying that about imbalance, I've had this thought about Indiana, by the way, for a while. I don't think it's in their plan to do this. But Dave, at some point, if you look at their guards right now, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, they love the rookie they drafted. Mathurin, but even Nembhard.
Nembhard, yeah, sorry.
They still have TJ McConnell, and they have Chris Duarte. So I'm not saying to trade Tyrese Halliburton by any means.
Sure.
But I look at it a little bit like I don't think Lauri Markkanen is on his third team. And you go, why is he on his third team?
Yeah, right.
I don't know that Chicago wanted to deal him. Then he went to Cleveland. Then Cleveland's like, well, I don't think we want to deal him. Well, we're getting Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
We're going to deal him.
Sure.
I don't think the Kings wanted to deal Tyrese Halliburton, but you're getting Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
I don't know how many upgrades they could keep doing, and I'm not suggesting this is the move, but they got to clean some of that up to get some better front court players. And if, for example, it got you, I don't know, Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
you'd move someone of Tyrese's or whoever it is. I'm just throwing out a name. They need to
fix that front court
imbalance of the backcourt, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good players.
Sure.
They can get something for some of that.
It'd be an interesting move. They clean up their front court instantly. What do you think they say if Kings call and say, we'll give you Sabonis for Halliburton?
That would honestly be a funny question if the two GMs called again. Right. Like when they go, who says no? Like, but who reacts like stronger going, no way are we giving up Halliburton, or no way are we giving up Sabonis?
I think they both say no.
They both made the trade to agree to do it.
Right. Now they both say no.
Yeah.
No, we're not touching the whole thing.
We're very happy with Sabonis. We're very happy with Halliburton.
I think Indiana's got a nice young squad.
They do.
They've got some options there too.
Yeah. But at some point someone elevates where you go, well, look here, like Fox is the guy. You know what? This Halliburton kid's like, we all kind of started thinking, well, maybe you move De'Aaron. Not that you want to.
Never in my life did I think they were going to move Halliburton.
Yeah. And so if Mathurin, I mean, it's possible that Mathurin's the better guard. Now he's a 2, but is he the franchise piece? And you go, we don't really want to move.
Sure.
Or Mathurin. We don't really want to move him, but hey, to get Halliburton and this stud front court player, that's how teams get better. You have to make some of those tough decisions.
I mean, they got Nembhard in shooting guard, Mathurin coming. I don't know.
They got to do something with some of that. And now Buddy is going to be expiring, right? And
it's just really difficult for me to imagine that their backcourt of the future is Mathurin and Halliburton. No offense to Nembhard, but
right. But I guess like
you were the Mathurin guy.
Yeah, the one game Nembhard started.
Yes.
Did he get like a triple-double or close to it?
Something crazy.
Now, again, Tyrese Halliburton has done it time and time again. It's an all-star this year, has been great. Or Mathurin looks like he's fast-tracking to be a great player.
Yeah.
It's just at some point, you got to make those tough decisions. And maybe just the backcourt is Halliburton and Mathurin, and that's the piece, and then they figure out the front court later. But they drafted Duarte. They have McConnell. Nembhard's there. Buddy. Good backcourt.
31-8-13 for Nembhard against the Golden State Warriors in that 112-104 win. Yeah, it was. Wow. All right, we got one more thing here real quick because I think we have a second. One last thing on Hallie, how he found out about the trade.
Like, a call from my agent in the morning said, I think you're getting traded, but I don't know. They're not being very good with their communication. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. He hung up. He said, I'll call you back. So I called my girlfriend to the room. I said, we could get traded soon. The deadline was approaching. It wasn't, we were days from the deadline still, right?
Yes.
And so I told her we could get traded. Let's just keep that between me and you. We play the Timberwolves tonight. So, it is what it is. I don't know. And then I called George Niang, who obviously I'm very close to. But the Ben rumors were swirling that whole year, whether it was Ben for Fox, Ben for me, whatever it was going to be. So I'm calling George like, is it you guys? And he was like, no, I ain't heard nothing. And so when he said that, I'm like, what? What's going on? I called from my agent right after. I hung up on him to answer my agent to tell me that it's Indiana. And then I hang up on him to answer Monty so he can tell me. I call my agent back. So it was a very short period of time. A lot of different emotions, a lot of different thoughts coming into my head. But yeah, it definitely was a very crazy day.
Can't imagine, man. Just can't.
Ben Simmons. Still on the table, I say. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Kayte Christensen about games past, games future, and so much more. A TV analyst for the Kings after this.
Coming off a record-setting win over the Magic, the Kings look to make it 2 in a row Wednesday night against the last-place Houston Rockets at the Golden One Center.
Gets it, gives to Delly. Dellavedova sets the Sacramento Kings franchise record for three-pointers in a game. Number 23.
Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Happy holidays to all of you. And my friends at American Energy have a present. They want to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up to ensure your system is running safely and efficiently. Plus, if you're ready for a new one, get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. When you purchase a whole home HVAC system, get your furnace half off. 0% financing, payment plan options available. There's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfy for you and your family this holiday. American Energy has been serving Sacramento since 1981. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and that is extremely important to me and should be important to you. Supporting local business because local business supports you. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
At Folsom Lake Honda, in addition to great prices on new Hondas, we stock the best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, and each one of those vehicles is priced to sell now.
With new cars in high demand, Folsom Lake Honda has a great selection of quality one-owner trades with low miles, and each is priced to sell now. Every used vehicle on the lot comes with a Carfax vehicle history report and has passed a safety inspection. Shop our entire selection at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Are you scared to open your energy bill each month for fear of how much you might owe that month? Well, did you know that replacing or repairing your roof can have an immediate and drastic effect on not only your energy efficiency, but also saving you money each month? Hey, Jason Ross here, and I needed a new roof. And when I was researching companies and talking with friends, one company stood out as the premier company in our region, and that's ACR Solar and Home Services. I set up a meeting with John, the owner, and Joe, the roofing expert, and the office staff. Well, they were amazing. They worked with my schedule, set up an appointment to come out to the house, and walk me through how they could save us money and protect our home. If your roof is showing signs of wear and tear and you think you might have a leak, or you simply want to save money on your energy bills, Well, I encourage you to do what we did and research ACR Solar and Home Services. ACR Solar and Home Services, your Sacramento region's premier solar and roofing company dedicated to quality, value, and integrity since 1979. That's acrsolar.com.
This time check is brought to you by West Coast Men's Health Acoustic Wave Therapy.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Your home for the biggest matchups in the NFL. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I am Jay Mars. Still, the Sacramento Kings look to get their second win in a row tonight when the Houston Rockets visit the Golden One Center. Houston comes in sporting an NBA worst 10-30 record and will also play the Kings on Friday night. Coverage of tonight's action begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. Steph Curry returned last night for the Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough for the Dubs, who fell short to an injury-riddled Phoenix Suns team 125-113. Curry finished the game with 24 points in 31 minutes of action. The Warriors are now 2 games back of the Sacramento Kings for first place in the Pacific Division. Coming up next, Kayte Christensen joins the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Wine Wednesday in 13 minutes, and boy, do we have a couple of wines for you. You can always send your big wine of the week, 1140. God, I'm never going to get that out of my head. 916-339-1140 is our text line. Or on the YouTube, Sactown Sports on the YouTube page. Just get there. If you're not subscribed already, please do make sure to do that. And our next guest comes to us every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You want to talk about somebody. People think Katie's just a mom, a TV analyst, but let's just put it this way, and she probably doesn't want me saying this publicly, she goes hard. And what I mean by that is, you want to talk about a rock star lifestyle. This lady goes hard during the week and then just rolls into the booth and does her job. Like last night, I don't know how late she was out, but I know she was partying hard. I didn't even know she'd be on today, to be honest with you. Appreciate you getting up this early and joining us, Kayte, after your late night last night. How are you?
You guys are hilarious. Are you really playing Let It Go right now, as if I haven't had enough of that in the last 24 hours?
The joke here is that Kayte and Mini Kayte were out at the stage show for Frozen last night?
It was the musical, yeah. The Broadway show came through Sacramento.
Sing it.
No. But yeah, so we musicaled out last night.
Sorry, we're all kind of lip syncing here. It's Idina Menzel. It's such a great song. I always forget there's another girl that sang. Who was it? Selena Gomez? Somebody else sang it too.
I think Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato, thank you. First comment on the, we normally don't do things about appearance because it doesn't matter, but Jose Hernandez on the YouTube chat said, Kayte, the glasses you wore during the last broadcast look good. How about that?
Oh, I thank you. Yeah, it threw everyone for a loop. So, yeah. The studious version of Kayte,
yes,
I guess.
As I communicated to you via text that night as well. So, see, there you go.
Yes.
Kayte, Houston, back-to-back. Not back-to-back night, but back-to-back as far as the schedule goes. These aren't must-wins, I understand that, but really, they have to beat Houston, right? Like they have to.
It would be very helpful, right? In terms of when you look at just how difficult the NBA is this year, specifically the Western Conference. I really feel like the Eastern Conference is kind of evened out in terms of their standings. The Western Conference is an absolute chaotic mess, right? It's changing constantly. There's not a big difference between say number 4 and number 10. This Houston team, and I'm coming back from dropping my little off at school, so I don't have my notes in front of me. But if memory serves, Houston has beat the Bucks, they've beat the Suns, and they have some big wins on their kind of record. But the reality of it is the level of talent on every team in the league right now is just ridiculous. Detroit had a big win the other day, you know what I mean, against a top tier team. And so I kind of look at these games as like, okay, if you want to be where, you know, your goal is in April, which is to be in the playoffs and not necessarily just in a play-in situation. I'm worried about a play-in situation because the Lakers have too much talent. LeBron is too good. If AD comes back, he was playing at an MVP level before he left. They're kind of climbing up the standings. They're a very tough team to beat, regardless of the fact that they started so terribly and it's really hard to recover record-wise. So if you're wanting to be in the playoffs and avoid a play-in situation, which to me is just way too dangerous based on the level of talent in the West, you really need to take care of business on your home floor and against teams like Houston. And that is not a knock at all to Houston because they have a ton of talent on that team. They're just very young and inexperienced at this point.
Kayte, I know it was a point of emphasis for Coach Brown and the coaching staff to just get better points in the paint. They've been giving up way too many lately, and the number went down considerably against Orlando. What was your observation of the biggest reasons why they were able to drop that number the other night?
You know what? I wish I could say that it was something schematically or what have you. I think that Orlando had a really tough night. I think that they kind of, you know, this is a team that traditionally doesn't take very many threes. They hit 4 threes against the Kings back in early November when they played an overtime game in Orlando. You know, four threes in an overtime game is crazy. That's not, you don't see that in the NBA. They get the majority of their points from the interior. That's just kind of their makeup right now. So I felt that the Kings did a decent job, you know, in terms of second line of defense, trying to get to help early. A lot of it to me is blow-bys on individual matchups on the perimeter. There weren't as many of those. But I think that the Magic were actually a little bit hot from outside, and they started hitting some threes, and I think that kind of, you know, turned their attention away from the paint a little bit. So I think that was kind of just how the game went. But you guys, I have to make a gripe here. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm really irritated with ESPN for taking away this ESPN game.
Yeah.
You had it on the schedule from the beginning. Now it's the Nuggets versus the Suns. The Suns have won 2 of their last 11 games. You take away a game, and I don't know what the reasoning or the rationale is behind it, but it's like the Kings are playing so well, and they're such a fun, exciting team to play. And then you take away an ESPN game for what reason? Because people want to see the Suns play right now with all their people injured. Like, it makes no sense to me. And even though I'm biased and our broadcast is better, I mean, Mark Jones actually would have been on that call, so Sac would have got some legit love. But it's like, from a national perspective, people deserve to see this team play. And you talk about all-star voting, and it's kind of, you know, you hear people talking right now. Sorry, I'm on a Kayte rant.
Go,
right
Kayte, go. Put them glasses on.
You hear people talking about, oh, fans need to do better at voting for the Kings for all-star, for Domas and De'Aaron. Sac fans don't. Sac fans are voting.
Thank you.
It's that people on a national level don't get to see this team play. And when you have a TNT game earlier in the year where they absolutely slap around the Brooklyn Nets and just demolish them. Now, granted, the Nets are the hottest team in the league right now, even though they just lost Kevin Durant, so we'll see how that goes. But then an ESPN game, you take it away. You've got 2 nationally televised games this season, and they take one away when you're playing the best basketball you've played since like 2004, 2005, and you think it's the fans' fault for team, like people not voting? No,
Trash.
People don't get to see this team play. I'm really irritated that they would take that game away. And yeah, let's watch the Suns play right now. Sounds fun.
For the first time since 2011, Kayte, you and I agree on something 100%. You're 100% correct. It's not the fans' fault. We've talked about this before. Any intimation that, the fans need to get out of here with that. There's no better fan base than Sacramento fans, but you're right. It's a popularity contest. People east of the Mississippi are asleep generally when the Kings play. And Kayte, you weren't here for this. You've been here a long time, but we've talked about this before. It was back in, I think, 98. And the Kings got thrown on TNT down at Staples Center against the Lakers. And they ended up coming back after being down 20 points at the half and winning that game. And they got flexed some more. And that was really the start of those Jason Williams, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber Kings. I imagine they will be flexed into a handful of games should they be able to maintain this pace at some point, because they're an easy watch. But this Houston deflex that they did, so you could have last night you had Phoenix and Golden State, two teams worse than the Kings, by the way.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
It's about star power, right, in the league, and it's about name. And yeah, Steph Curry coming back, absolutely, that is something that people want to see. I'm not going to begrudge kind of the media network for how they manage and put games on. But what I don't understand is that you've got a fifth-seeded team in the Western Conference. I haven't checked today if the standings have shifted in the West. So I apologize if it's gone down a spot. But the reality is that the Kings have been there and then maintained it for a while now. And, it goes back to you talk about those golden kind of days of the Kings back in the early 2000s. I started playing overseas. And when I was playing overseas, I saw people with Kings jerseys all over the place. It's not just about watching it on a national level. It's about international recognition of brand, right? And players. And when you look at how All-Star voting works, don't be deceived to think that those votes are coming just from the United States. That's coming from all over the world. So you're taking away the ability to get Kings players, this team, this franchise, back on kind of an international level of being recognized around the world. And so fan voting, I will never, ever, ever, to me, it's almost more important to be a reserve in the All-Star game, because that is coaches that are saying these players deserve to be there. Because we've seen throughout time, you guys, there's been plenty of All-Stars that have been voted in as starters by the fans that are being voted in just because of their name, not because of their performance. So I don't.
And Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have any doubt or hesitation that Domas and De'Aaron are going to be in the All-Star. I really believe that, because every coach that comes in to their media availability before games absolutely say those two are playing at all-star levels. And those are the people that are going to put them on that team because of what they have done. And it's kind of that game recognized game thing. It's not just players. It's coaches that respect what Mike Brown has done here and what De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis have collectively been able to do to elevate this team.
No doubt, as we're talking with Kayte Christensen, all our guests coming to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Kayte, one last thought on the way Coach Brown coached the other night. He went to Chimezie Metu first. Is it kind of the first big off the bench? You think that's the plan going forward?
I'm kind of a little puzzled by the rotation of the center position. And I think everybody is, and I think that's okay. I think that Mike Brown has been very open and honest about the fact that he's still searching. And sometimes it's going to come down to matchups or what he sees that he feels that Chimezie or, Alex Lynn or Mimi, Rashawn Holmes. There's kind of a backlog in that position, and also Trey Lyles when they play kind of a little smaller, right, and stretch the floor. But I thought that for whatever reason he did it, it was a great call because his verticality really made a difference in that game. And he came in, he was aggressive, he rim runned, and that is something that at least we know that Chimezie, despite it was really a 10-game stretch of where he had fallen completely out of the rotation after being the first big off the bench for quite some time. At least we know that he returned and immediately gave what he was giving prior to him kind of falling out of the rotation. So kind of hats off to him for staying ready, staying prepared, and mentally that's the toughest challenge when you're in those situations. But I think Mike Brown really is still kind of trying to figure out how best to utilize the backlog of centers he has, because they're all different and all give kind of a different thing when they come in. So I don't know if it's a matchup thing. And, I think it's been very, very, vocally kind of out there. Everyone is wondering what's going to happen at the trade deadline, because I think we can all be honest and say that probably is the biggest deficiency in terms of the rotation in the lineup, is just not having a consistent presence from that backup center when Domas gets some rest.
Check out Kayte on the call tonight, 7 p.m. with the Rockets taking on the Kings at Golden One Center, of course, right here on Sactown Sports. Kayte, thank you so much. And listen, when it comes to all this flexing and all-star voting and all that, you know what you and I both need to do?
Oh, dear.
Let it go. Talk to you later.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. That's Kayte Christensen.
Got her.
I did. Coming up next, she's easy. I mean, she's incredibly easy to get. Coming up next, that sounded weird. It's Wine Wednesday. What's been bothering us? And I got one. I got one for sure. We'll get to that right after this.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, I mean, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, you know. And new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taking off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right. Getting Wine Wednesday, and this breaking news is going to fit in to Wine Wednesday, as a matter of fact. It is Wine Wednesday for the love of wine. Let's hear your wine of the week. It's brought to you by 23 Wines, and here we go.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
I'm going to tie this whole thing together here. We have breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, the long national nightmare is over. Carlos Correa has passed his physical with the Minnesota Twins. He has found himself a home, and that gets me to my wine of the week. I just Googled Farhan Zaidi, and nice transition there. And if you Google his name and Carlos Correa, all you see, Farhan Zaidi's a moron. What an idiot. How embarrassing is this? He sucks. Fire Farah. All this stuff. Now, granted, this is coming on the heels of the Aaron Judge disappointment. But what I hate in this world, especially in the sports world, especially in the sports media world, is we're so quick. We're all guilty. We're so quick. Everyone, except maybe you, Jason, is guilty of jumping the gun on people and just pounding on them. But guess what? Farhan Zaidi did the right thing. He did the right thing by the organization, whether it was his call, whatever it is. I'm using the royal Farhan Zaidi here. The Mets, who signed a Cocker Spaniel to a $400 million deal, and they're throwing money everywhere. They passed on Carlos Correa. Here's the thing. I just Googled Farhan Zaidi apology. Maybe some people have apologized. 3 results came up. You know what they all say, Jason? Farhan Zaidi owes Giants fans an apology. So all I'm saying is just in general.
Yeah.
When you're wrong about something, when somebody is proven right, maybe have some accountability. I didn't care too much for the signing in the first place. It's not that I was some awesome, disciplined dude. I just really didn't want Carlos Correa, so I didn't really go in on Farhan Zaidi that much. But if I did, I'd like to say that I would say we owe you an apology. And I think a lot of Giants fans and I think a lot of media members owe him an apology because he wasn't just being some doofus. He actually did his due diligence. Good for him.
Yeah, the only thing I would not even counter, because I think in fairness, that was going to be their big investment.
Big investment.
Once they realized and there were red flags and they were concerned about the physical, I wonder if it could have prevented them from losing Rodon. Had the order, but he couldn't have seen that ahead of time.
He couldn't have seen it.
If you're going all in on Judge, that doesn't happen, then you're going all in on Correa, you're going to lose some other things. And it's just that's the only unfortunate thing. But I can't blame him for that because once you're targeting a player, you go get him. And they nearly got what they thought would be a transformative player for the next decade plus. And then they got out of it.
And just to, pile on here because it's fun. the rest of your offseason was not good.
No.
If you're the Giants.
And that doesn't get him. This is absolutely.
It's like you just have a team of platoon guys that'll be here for maybe a year.
This is not something that I'm saying, hey, Farhan Zaidi is golden and he's the best. Like, there's plenty to go after Zaidi for.
Yeah.
This was really bad. And I think in this vacuum, in the end, he's right.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Jason?
I have a totally non-sports random one for you.
Sure.
It just both these things happened yesterday, and it just got me thinking today on this. I've got an issue with change, like coins.
It's like you're the wrong radio station.
Changes.
I don't know. I had an opportunity where the price was $4.02. Gave $5. Can I get a $1?
$1?
Can I get $1 back?
The 2 pennies?
Can I get $1 back?
That's dumb.
I got 98 cents back. Or the people, this has happened to recently where, I mean, more people, and I'm using card or debit or whatever more often, but if you have cash ever and you use it, and then it's where maybe it might be the other way where it's $4.96. Let me tell you, I don't want the change. I mean, I know it's 4 cents. I'm not arguing about the 4 cents, but then like, thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Can I at least get offered?
I feel like it doesn't always even out. We're like, hey, I probably should have got the $1 before, but I'll let you keep the 4.
There's weird rules there.
There is, and it's just assumed. Like again, I would probably just be like, here's the 5, and then walk out, or whatever the money is. But like, I could tell they were just going to go, all right, have a good day. And went, oh, we're not giving that. And again, it's not the premise. I don't care about the pennies, one way or the other. But it's a weird. We've gotten in a weird thing because I think more often than not now, almost. And I'm 98% of the time I'm just using a card, but sometimes you do have cash.
You have cash.
Sometimes.
I remember going to that coin star when I was a teenager, man, with my big bucket of coins. And I was going to have a great day at the arcade.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And also when I used to smoke, the weirdest thing for me is I'd go and buy cigarettes and then they'd give me my receipt. And of course I'd take it and say thank you, but I was just like, I'm not returning them. I'm not writing them off either.
Right.
Why are you giving me?
Wouldn't it have been great for you if you could write them off?
Oh, I would be a lot richer. As we go to break, Aaron on the chat, I want to echo what he said. His wine is a little something I talked about on Twitter earlier this week too. It's a good one. When we have weather and it's not as horrendous as it might be, let's not go after the meteorologists for fake news, please.
Let's be thankful that we're okay in our houses and everything.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, these people do things that 100 years ago would have made them witches and burned them at the stake. They're able to do magic. They can tell you the weather, and they're really good at it. And they're going to err on the side of caution because you're the same person that if they say, well, mild storms coming out of the blah, 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 and then your house goes underwater, you're like, why didn't you tell me? The mainstream media. Like, shut up.
Good job, Captain Save a Meteorologist.
That's right.
Got him.
That's right. I'm here for the Eileen Javoras and the Tammy Bergs of the world. I'm here for the Christina Werners. I'm here for is Dirkford Dorn?
Yeah.
The Dirkford
The Mark
Dorns.
Finans.
Yes. I'm here for the Tom Loftmans. I'm going back. The Betty Vasquez's.
Hello, Sacramento.
Lloyd Lindsay Young.
Lloyd Lindsay Young. No. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, well, we thought we were going to have Kevin Herter, but I think he might be sleeping. It's game day. It's game day. You never know. So we're gonna vamp. We're gonna do 3 in the key and then see what happens.
All right.
Right after this.
Coming off a record-setting win over the Magic, the Kings look to make it 2 in a row Wednesday night against the last-place Houston Rockets at the Golden One Center.
Gets it, gives to Delly. Dellavedova sets the Sacramento Kings franchise record for three-pointers in a game. Number 23.
Coverage begins with game night at 5:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball. Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday forecast is going to be soggy again, but expecting these showers more on the lighter side, on and off again through the afternoon, with temperatures a bit cooler, highs in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia.
Hi, guys. It's Mark. Are you struggling with ED? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 11th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Coastside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain that spark, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday, 916-603-2000.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. So Chad, honest question, why drive all the way to Hoblet when the other guys are so much closer?
Well, I can tell you about our true pricing policy where the price you see is the price you pay. No add-ons or hidden fees. I can tell you we have one of the largest selections of new Ram trucks in California because we are the #1 heavy-duty Ram truck dealer in California, or I could let our customers tell the story.
I've been researching Ram 1500s for about a week. Called multiple dealers, got a bunch of BS. I reached out to Hoblet Dodge and immediately was assured of their straightforward and true pricing. No sneaky dealer markups. In the end, it was a great deal and a great truck.
Come see for yourself why Hoblet Dodge is your small town dealer with big city selection and savings. Come be treated like family instead of a sucker with Hoblet's true pricing with no dealer markups, add-ons, or hidden fees. Stop by Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland or see our full selection with true prices at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
The new year is upon us with promises of new beginnings and new adventures, but don't let 2022 slip away without savoring the memories of all you enjoyed with family and friends. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Of course, looking forward with anticipation is exciting, but I have a lot to appreciate in this past year, and much of that revolves around time with family and more good time spent around my Naturewood dining table. Watching my grandson get messy with his birthday cake is priceless, and it reminds me that new life is the perfect balance between yesterday and today. Greet the new year with a visit to Naturewood Home Furnishings. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's New Year sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
This time check is brought to you by West Coast Men's Health Acoustic Wave Therapy.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings look to get their second win in a row tonight when the Houston Rockets visit the Golden One Center. Houston comes in sporting an NBA worst 10-30 record and will also play the Kings on Friday night. Coverage of tonight's action begins with game night at 5:30 on Sactown Sports. Steph Curry returned last night for the Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough for the Dubs, who fell short to an injury-riddled Phoenix Suns team, 125-113. Curry finished the game with 24 points in 31 minutes of action. The Warriors are now 2 games back of your Sacramento Kings in the Pacific Division. I'm sure we all had that on our list of things we thought would be talking about in the new year. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting,
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports.
We will get to Kevin Herter when we get to Kevin Herter. Of course, it's game day, so sometimes we get schedules all over the place, and ultimately our goal is to make sure Kevin is always having it's always convenient.
Yeah,
for him.
game's more important.
Game is more
The
important.
show's pretty important too.
As we get to 3 in the key, I want to read this. Just came over the wire. Wonderful news regarding DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, good.
Doctors finishing tests to determine whether there were any pre-existing conditions that caused his cardiac arrest. Ongoing tests have determined that was not the case. It appears the collision was the sole cause. Hospital plans to release a written health update within the coming hours. There's also optimism he will be deemed well enough to be released from Buffalo General within the next day or two.
Oh.
Also, his parents flew to Buffalo. They left Bill's facilities this morning to be reunited with their son at the hospital.
Awesome.
Couldn't have better
Just
news,
getting
right?
better and better.
Better. Jay, you had a note.
I have a statement as well.
Yes, but
This is a
This is a Jay
statement.
statement?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, well, not necessarily. It is a statement Wednesday though here on the show.
It is Statement Wednesday.
The Mets
actually
have
a good
issued
day.
a statement regarding Carlos Correa.
Ah, yes. Let
me pop the music down for this one.
Yes,
Real quick.
much less serious health news, by the way, for a player.
We were unable to reach an agreement. We wish Carlos all the best.
Well thought out. Well crafted.
It's a lot like the Giant statement. A Giant statement was actually more colorful
Yes.
than that one.
I think that was the second draft, or was that the first?
Oh, no, that one had to be, I'm sure, workshopped.
How many people that make at least 3 times what we make per year had to sit in on a meeting or a Zoom call to release that statement?
Far too many.
Far
Probably
too
took
many.
days to get that one out.
That's what Kayte Christensen when they fired me 10 years ago. That was the exact thing. All right, I'm going to reach an agreement. Wish them all the best.
They didn't
peace
say
out.
your name.
They did. All right. They were worried about my ankle, though. That was the problem. 3 in the key. Kings Houston tonight. Pregame 6:30. Tip-off 7 right here on Sactown Sports.
I'm going to try something a little different today.
Oh.
There's 3 of us. There's 3 in the key. I would like each of us to pick a category. So, Dave, if you are ready, you can
Okay.
pick first. You can lead that off. I'll go second and lead that one off. Jay, you can pick the third of our 3 in the key categories.
Okay. I'm going to pick. You know what? In honor of his absence today, I'm going to pick Kevin Herter points.
Okay. I like that.
And I will say Red Velvetino will have 18 points.
18 points for Kevin Herter. That's probably right where he's going to live. I'm just going to go one under yet, 17.
Oh,
We'll go higher than both of you guys. Double deuce is 22 for Mr. Herter tonight.
And just to be clear on these, I always forget we're not playing Price is Right rules, right? Like,
No, it's whoever's closer.
You can't say like 1 point.
Correct.
Right.
It's not an over thing.
All right, Jason.
So the second category today we're going to use. We've done Sabonis' stat line a lot. I'm going to go to the other potential All-Star. Let's do points, rebounds, and assists for Mr. Fox.
Wow.
And I will go first here. I think De'Aaron's going to go for 27, 4, and 8. J. Mars?
22, 8, and 6.
Dave?
I'm going to say 18, 5, and 5, and I want to put an asterisk.
Oh, gosh.
No, I think this is going to be weirdly enough, a comfortable win, and I think we're going to see another limited minutes night for the starters.
Very unlike you.
That's just,
yeah.
Which is why they're going to get their butts beat tonight.
Jay?
Jay?
All right. I want total 3-pointers tonight for Keegan Murray.
We should be doing Keegan Murray rebound watch, by the way, is what we should be doing.
So, Jay, you go first on this one.
I'm going to say Keegan hits 4.
Dave?
I'll say 3.
Okay. I think he hit 5 or 6 the last game.
He did.
Man. Keegan Murray. Let's do it. He's hot. He's shooting over 50%. I'll go 5.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I hope you're right. It's tough because you don't know how many minutes these guys are
right.
I hope the starters average 20 points.
I asked this to Jay, I think off the air yesterday. So we don't know if the beam is going to live after. I don't know.
Don't know.
And if it does, I'm totally
I
fine
think
with
it does. I think it's here to stay.
Okay. Is Keegan Murray, is like that the rest of his career?
I think so. Here, yeah, I think
okay.
so.
I mean, that's fine. I'm fine with it. I just didn't know.
Do you have any problem with it kind of being, a second cousin, so to speak, to Yogi Ferrell?
I will say this prediction. I think that this is going to be a trend. I think after Keegan Murray retires, I think that Billy Schwartzen. That's going to be the next one.
Yeah.
And on and on and on.
Also, fun matchup. Is Jabari Smith Jr.'s healthy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Him and Keegan tonight. That should be fun.
Real quick. I saw this as often I do during the break. You've all read, and we're all going to start reading here eventually, mock drafts, regardless of the sport, well, baseball, football, or basketball, football. This is making the rounds. This is Pro Football Weekly's pre-draft profile of Dez Bryant.
Oh, wow. We're going way back.
I want to point out the downside part of this pre-draft profile for Dez Bryant. Comes from an unstable upbringing with a mother who had 3 kids before she was 18. She spent 18 months in jail for distributing drugs. Has a documented learning disability and made some questionable decisions in lying to NCAA investigators, which cost him the rest of his eligibility as a junior. Will drop some easily catchable balls. Not a crafty route runner. Mistimes some jumps. It's an extremely difficult topic when you're talking about NFL teams and the scouting they do and the questions they ask.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge that when you're an NFL team, you're any team making that kind of investment, and I hate to use people as objects, but let's be honest, it's a similar thought process. It's like if you're going to buy a car or a house or whatever, you want to do the inspection, and
absolutely,
you're on a house. Maybe you find out there's asbestos in the, I don't know what it is. It's something that maybe it's a nice, comfortable house in a great street and it looks great, but there's rats in the attic. I don't know. So I'm not gonna get all crazy about getting into a player's family life, although I think that's incredibly cringy. I just don't know if I'm Pro Football Weekly, if I'm printing all of that stuff out. And by the way, couldn't we say here's something, just for a nice intellectual exercise. Comes from an unstable upbringing with a mother who had 3 kids before she was 18 and who spent 18 months in jail for distributing drugs. Isn't there a decent argument that that's a pro if you're looking at the character? So went through hell growing up, had some really tough hurdles, had a rough upbringing, and has managed to go to a major college and ride his talent, and is now on the verge of being an NFL #1 pick. A true story of not having all of the privileges many people have and still overcoming obstacles.
Could be, for sure. Depends on how you look at anything, right?
Right. And by the way, more often than not, these things have absolutely no bearing. For example, Warwick Dunn, old Florida State running back, his mother was a cop, was killed in action. He has spent his life post-football, and he had a very successful college career, very successful NFL career. You know what he does? He builds houses for people that can't afford houses. He has built, helped build hundreds of houses. He's like Jimmy Carter with Habitats for Humanity. He has devoted his life to building literal homes for people. That's a horrific thing that happened to him, and that's helped fuel a lot of his success. Thomas Robinson had a terrible thing going. Remember when he was drafted, raised his little sister.
Right.
By the way, nothing should take away from that. Screw basketball. What a wonderful human being. What a wonderful story. That didn't inform what he did in the NBA.
Yeah.
That didn't affect his points and rebounds.
Was that going to be he couldn't stay in front of guys or rebound or whatever it might be, whatever the ailment or not ailment, whatever the limitations are that keep them off the field or the diamond or whatever it might be.
I acknowledge that it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
And as we just talked about with those quarterbacks before, and that we're looking at, the Josh Rosens of the world on one end and what Brock Purdy and where they were drafted and what that you just, there's so many times you just don't know. So you want the whole.
Yeah, you need to know the character. You need to know all of them, but
that's a rough situation. I mean, that's just a rough Pro Football Weekly. I don't think they'd be printing that right now. We will take a break. When we come back, we wrap up. We've got news and notes. We've got who's hot and who's not. We've got Celebrity birthdays, and Jason is excited. Not often does Jason get excited about celebrity birthdays. He is over the moon, Jay, about this one.
He's actually been over the moon twice this morning already.
Yes.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Oh, wait.
What?
Did Race and Joss just make a gesture to the camera?
Yes,
oh, boy.
he did. Race and Joss in studio coming up next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
When it's cold and rainy outside, everyone knows Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a $79 furnace tune-up. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
ATM Mortgage.
Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell with a very unique program for homeowners over 55 years old. How would you like to cut your house payment in half and maybe get some cash out too? Give ATM Mortgage a call. 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 2234889.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance, drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit gainswavecalgary.ca.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 19th at Cal Expo. Bring the family and discover your next adventure. Buy the latest gear, find the best destinations, get expert advice at free seminars and activities. See Toyota's powerful Tundra. Free entry for youth 15 and under. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 19th through 22nd at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Oh!
These four San Francisco 49ers. The inaugural Players All-Pro team via the NFL Players Association was released this morning, making the first team fullback Kyle Juszczyk, left guard Trent Williams, defensive end Nick Bosa, and linebacker Fred Warner.
Hey. I don't know why I was most excited for Fred Warner. Who's not?
Sacramento Kings legend Dwayne Dedmon. Believe this to be true. The first player in NBA history ejected for swatting a Theragun massage gun onto the floor.
Better than some of the things you see thrown on the field in Buffalo, but yeah, similar.
And then with that, we got this gem from another former Kings center, Olden Polonies, on Twitter. Well, I'm sure the at Miami Heat brass is saying to themselves, Dwayne is a dead man.
OP.
Yeah, you know me.
Come on, OP. Come on, OP. God,
Olden.
that's a dad joke.
And a darn good one. Shout out OP.
Did you say OP is the sheriff of dad jokes? What?
Okay.
What? News and notes.
No, we're going to let that one marinate for the audience real quick if they're catching up on that. That was a
On
call
what?
for.
On what? What? I'm complimenting him. OP, friend of the show. Before today.
Dear friend. Probably not anymore.
News and notes.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Well, just when you thought it was safe to, well, you know what, in light of last night's incident, I was just going to say just when you thought it was safe to fly, but we want to take a moment and shout out Scott Marsh and the whole UC Davis basketball team for making it back to Sacramento safely, and they are now down in LA ahead of their game. A bird hit the airplane, and they were forced to land. That was not what I was referring to when I said just when you thought it was safe to fly after all of the delays and cancellations because of weather and computers and all that. Well, today there have been, at least as of this writing, there have been more than 1,000 flights canceled and more than 6,100 flights to, from, and within the United States delayed. This is as of an hour ago, so I'm sure it's grown because the FAA's computers had an outage. Yes, that's right. There was an outage. It caused extensive disruption. There was a ground stop order in place, and they lifted the order right around 6 a.m. our time. Normal operations are resuming, but that doesn't change the over 1,000 flights that are, as we saw during Christmas season, especially on Southwest. It's a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm canceled here, so we got to move you there, and then there's there, and
a thing and a thing
and a thing. I mean, the good news is you hope not too many people are flying on Wednesday, January 11th, but there's still a lot of people doing that. This is something that would, I'm sure, get covered a lot more on Nick's show, Nick and Rami's show than our show, but it's news. Rumors flying yesterday that the WWE was sold to Saudi Arabia, like the whole country. They just bought WWE. According to TMZ Sports, which I maintain they're never wrong.
Right.
The most reliable. All of TMZ. The most reliable outlet over the last 20 plus years. They say a deal has not been made between the two sides. The report was that Vince McMahon secured a massive payday for handing over the company reins to Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, if that sounds familiar. That's the same group that funded and is funding the LIV Golf Group. Also, recently, a Saudi Arabian team basically bought Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the biggest names in the entire sport, despite the fact that he's in his late 30s. And from what you hear from not just the whatever it was, $300 million a year. I mean, it makes baseball contracts look stupid what he got paid, but apparently he also gets like cars and a palace and like all kinds of, dude,
standard stuff.
Yeah, it's what they gave me at my last renewal.
Two things on that. One, Ariel Helwani was also reporting that as well. Another, again, very reputable reporter. If, though, Vince McMahon does sell to the Saudis, this is, and if you've watched Succession, you'll get the reference, the most. We now would know who Logan Roy's character is based off of. I mean, it 100%. Is literally textbook.
Everybody thinks Logan Roy is based off of Rupert Murdoch.
No.
I love what you're saying. It would be Vince McMahon. Absolutely. And that goes with the whole family, the son-in-law, Stephanie.
The daughter resigning as CEO yesterday as well, co-CEO.
Needless to say, I'm sure WWE will turn this into some sort of match. Some sort of storyline.
Well, why don't you lay that one out for us?
I don't know. I'm not Vince. They'll have some storyline involving this, and it'll be on Raw.
Well, the WWE's been dealing with this, taking Saudi money now for several years, and there was a report that I think it was like one of the Saudi princes had like requested to meet the Ultimate Warrior and the Macho Man, and
well, that's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it had to be informed that
I mean,
no longer with us.
Yeah, no. The Seahawks have won 3 of their last 8 games. The quarterbacks they faced in those wins: John Wolford, Mike White, Baker Mayfield. Is Brock Purdy the best of those 3 quarterbacks?
Yes.
Okay, we'll find out this weekend. Finally, according to King's Muse, you know that
Stat Muse thing. Yeah. Muse.
They got that new clutch player of the year thing, right? Luka Doncic in a poll yesterday was in first. De'Aaron Fox way behind him in second. Well, according to these numbers, he's clutch. First in clutch in clutch baskets. First in clutch field goal percentage. Second in clutch points. Yet is getting only 13% of the media vote for clutch player of
Also
the year.
missing from that a clutch client. De'Aaron Fox.
That's with a K. Well,
that's clutch.
He is. Maybe he'll be Clutch's player of the year. We have to look at that whole roster. Although LeBron's having a good year too.
He's okay.
And finally, that's it.
That's
Celebrity birthdays, Jason Ross.
Celebrity birthdays on this just amazing day of January 11th.
You're so excited about this. Celebrity birthdays. It's so fun.
Mary J. Blige. Happy birthday.
Mary J. Blige. Just what a wonderful voice. Mary J. By the way, do her friends call her Mary or Mary J? Like
Both.
Mary, right?
Depends.
Mary J., as I call her because we're friends, is 56.
I don't think she's quite 56. I'm going to say Mary J is 51.
All right, Simone says she's 60.
Oh, gosh. Jason?
Simone of the afternoon show, by the way. Cattle's.
Oops.
52.
Winner.
No.
Oh, wait. I thought I said, what did I say?
I said 56. Jay said 51.
Oh, okay. Well, wow.
Coming in hot. Happy birthday.
Are we okay back there?
No, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm trying to concentrate on these birthdays and pressing buttons at the same time is hard.
Where's the music?
There's the music.
It's dead, all right? It's not coming
Happy
back.
birthday today to Tony Allen.
Oh, Celtics or Memphis.
Both.
Right.
Both, actually.
Yeah. Tony Allen is 34.
Tony Allen's 43.
Tony Allen is 41.
Dang, he's old.
That's my list for January 11th.
Oh, come on.
I found some others. I
Okay,
went to
all
work. I we're going back to the weekend now, January 7th.
It's really weird without
Wait,
the
so there's no like fun deads? Like we could guess
fun dead.
January 11th, dead people that would have been like, what would their birthday have been today?
All right. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Fun. Okay. Term of the day. Fun deads.
Jay, I'm telling you, this is thin.
Even the fun deads?
Alexander Hamilton.
Remember that commercial?
This will actually be a fun one. Let's see how close you guys get.
Alexander Hamilton would be 241.
I'm going to say today would have been his 200th birthday.
I need more time here. Hang on.
Alexander Hamilton, he wrote that amazing play that hit Broadway based on his own life.
Also, third cousin to former Giant Darrell Hamilton.
Okay, what did you guys say again?
I said 200. Who would have been 200 today?
I think I said 241.
268th birthday.
Yeah, wow,
baby.
Nice work.
Woo!
That was fun.
Was only off by 27 years, which really, by percentage-wise, is not that bad. So happy birthday to Alexander Hamilton. More known for the play or the other stuff he did.
Oh, the play, for
right?
sure, yes.
Isn't that kind of sad?
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda brought him back. Who would be next?
Nathan
Hale.
Who?
Thomas Paine.
Do you know Clarence Clemens from Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah,
big saxophone player.
Clarence Clemens would be 81 today.
Clarence would have been 77. Come on. Jason's still good.
Math. Did we get in between?
Let's keep it 79.
58 plus 23 is what? 81?
81.
Oh,
81.
81 on the dot.
Wow.
Is that what you said?
Yes. I think.
I
know my Clarence Clemensing.
Okay.
Clemenses.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
But I do have January 7th that I looked up.
Okay.
Saturday, since we didn't have
we didn't have Saturday.
He was recently hurt, but is apparently doing better. Jeremy Renner.
A snowplow ran over him.
In the greater Sacramento area.
Yeah, the greater Sacramento area. Reno, basically a suburb.
Yeah.
I mean, they do broadcast the Kings up there, so it counts.
This was from Saturday.
Jeremy Renner is, by the way, Modesto's Jeremy Renner. Yeah, that's where he's from. True story. Is he's 50.
52.
52 is correct. Lamar Jackson on Saturday turned what?
Lamar Jackson on Saturday turned 27.
26.
I think you're right.
26.
He's right. Damn it.
Nicolas Cage on Saturday.
Oh, the unbearable
Michael Cage's brother.
Massive talent. Yes, Michael Cage. Yes. Johnny
Twins,
Cage.
actually.
Huh?
I think they're twins.
Yeah, they are. 100%. Nicolas Cage is 60.
59.
59. He's got 3 in a row. No one's ever got 4 in a row right.
He's cheating.
He's not.
Happy birthday on January
whisperer.
7th to Kenny Loggins.
Oh, I'm all right. Don't worry about me. Kenny is 74. He's actually up there.
78.
Oh, Jay, if you'd just done the bit where he went 1 up, 75.
Ah, you're terrible.
And happy birthday on January 7th to Katie Couric.
No, Catherine.
Oh, the Couric.
The Kirk.
The Couric. Katie Couric, Kate, as her friends call her, is Katie Couric is actually 70 on the dot.
Good Morning America's Katie Couric was 68.
What?
The show was wrong, but the guess was closer at 66.
66. Gotcha.
I know she's on the Today Show, guys. It's a bit.
So John Williams and perhaps Hans Zimmer are the kings of the movie soundtrack, right? As far as scoring. And all that.
Bill Conti.
Okay, but
Stan Bush.
All right, yeah, but really, I mean, come on, those are the.
Come on,
you're telling me that one of those guys is going to. And Bill Conti's a stud. He's going to go ahead of John Williams or Hans Zimmer.
I'm just saying, you never watched the Transformers movie in the 80s.
Yeah. Harold Faltermeyer.
Axel F, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did the F stand for Faltermeyer? We'll never know. Oh, it was Foley. What? But is Kenny Loggins the king of the soundtrack?
Yeah.
He kind of is.
I mean, Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun, Danger Zone, Footloose,
Caddyshack,
Over the Top. Come on, Meet Me Halfway. That's a great song.
You can't mention Top Gun and just go Danger Zone. Playing with the Boys is also Kenny Loggins.
That's fine. What we call our bathroom poo corner. That was actually a movie, I believe. Wasn't that the Winnie the Pooh?
Playing with the Boys. Have you ever watched the music video?
No.
It's
you haven't? Oh, we are watching.
We're watching after.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the one you showed us where they're all
the volleyball scene?
Yes,
like the most intense volleyball match. And that's not the beach volleyball from Top Gun.
No, it's not. It's the opposite of that. If you wanted to make an anti-Top Gun beach volleyball scene, it was that video. How long do we have? All right, very good. Our thanks to honorable mention to Danny Elfman. Yes, John, I agree with you. Our thanks to Kayte Christensen and Jason Ross and Jay Mars. I'm Carmichael Dave. Go Kings, light the beam. Bye-bye.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Dad, we'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just